create or cause some havoc against the side of TLNA Academy.
Right, now the last time Sharper Esports ran this map, it was an OT win against Naos, right? And the thing is, the two players that really went huge that game was LBY as well as Kadum. We know that Kadum is one of the best Neon players in Thailand. I am curious to see how exactly these two players, I mean Waylay compared to a Neon plays, especially on this particular map. So I am super excited for this game, Quack.
Definitely. I mean, there's a bit of history, or there definitely would be more history between some of the players from both sides. But to kick things off, we will have TLNA Academy on the attack, slowly moving upward into B. And it's a very open B.
It's a quick dash onto the top side of the area as well. Nifty holding, they have full control, at least for the front side of B. But their plant will be at least denied for the time being here from that aftershock. So QQ God's gonna be quickly just spraying through those smokes, finds one, and Kadum quickly just dashes in and takes up that space. Finds Kanedi's head. But TBLoy is here as well, gonna catch one in the midst of them rotating towards C side as well. But TBLoy not able to hold at the very least. Snappy waiting in the depths of garage.
Just trying to sneak through. But you got so many players on the other side.
Not gonna be the easiest as well. But Miffy is quite low. He is crouched at the very least as well. So, tries to go for a peek out here. Snappy quickly traded out as well. Still not gonna be the easiest. A quick right click to the face, and QQ got that was his round, and the pistol's gonna fall into Sharper Esports' lap.
Clear and concise. Everything that happens, just, how do I put this? Like, you kind of have an idea or a plan, but perhaps you weren't anticipating something like the aftershock. So now you know that. I would certainly hope that B site is a site which, at least for TLNA Academy, they think twice about hitting. But also, like, great reactions coming out from Sharper Esports, right? They have A and C lane being held. Because of that, they were then able to retake or prevent the spike from getting planted rather effectively. Well, we're going back into B again.
A lot of blank space for LBY here, but Snappy gonna anticipate that, just walk up, just shorty LBY in the face, just refract out. And that's how you start off a round and dwindle down numbers.
All right, shorty. Not expecting that. Taking down the breach as well is something that could give them the spike plant. So I would say that's already a pretty successful exchange. Because of that, now they get to death ball into the A site. Free spike plant. Oh, and you could even play around the corners with this shorty.
Spike planted.
Zero Pop is alone as well. They already made their presence known. They're immediately breaking the vines. Snappy, playing close by here, so he peeks here. Might be danger, but that Vandal from Kadum, 2 taps to 2 hits. The Snappy and Snurf are out of the game for now. He's gonna rush up forward as well, but TBLoy with the Classic. I'm not sure what is going on this particular few weeks. The Classics have been extremely potent. As Sharper Esports with the Bulldog come huge here. At the very least, only losing 2 members in this entire round, so I would say it's a great round for them. TLNA Academy, next round is nearby.
Yeah, potent guns and Sharper Esports.
You always make fun of me, Quack. I'm feeling really sad today.
It's
From
all
Series
good
1 all the way till now, guys.
I'm teasing. But that's basically the round. Actually, I mean, you're absolutely right with everything you basically kind of summarized the round for me. I don't have much else to say because that's just the pistol. You got these little takes out from Talon. I think Sharper Esports do kind of have to watch out for them for the upcoming rounds, but we can already see some of the retake ideas that Sharper has as well. So Talon now all of a sudden opting for a potential C peak.
Get recon forward. Presence noted as well, but he's gonna go for a peek, but Snappy, like his name, it's gonna be snappy as heck with that gun. Nifty's hit pops off, and then now Talon just moving away to the other side of the map.
Yeah, pulls some of the defenses over to the C side of the map. But Kadum is threading the angle as well. I mean, over onto A lobby. Got the drone though.
Forced to move away, location revealed. The immediately just gonna hide his presence as well with that fast lane, but Snappy is still holding him, anticipating QQ God. QQ God, that crab walk throws him off. But he's only down to 5 HP. Gonna quickly reposition away. He still stays alive at the very least.
It's a good swing. Low HP, but now you've got C smoked off. Oh, Talon.
Ooh. Shot for LBY here in Canadian as well. Quickly just gonna rush up the side here. You have the fault line, you have the recon as well. But LBY, that util is just good. It just buys so much time, but that double swing will eventually find his head at the very least. So still 2-on-2, and Kadum's timing could be massive here. Planted all the way to the back of site. All eyes onto CT side here. Seraphop and Kadum, they were anticipating where he is, and isolated fights means that he's able to take these one-on-ones. And they take this round.
And that's kind of what happens, right? You lose numbers as they kind of like trickle all across the round. You have players like holding angles a little bit too tight, or you get surprised by a wide swing, or sometimes it's just someone from Sharper being able to punish you. And it's things like that where if you're on the side of Talon, you need to be aware that players can possibly slip through because Garage is not smoked. You can't just like think that it's probably clear. I didn't see anyone before. Information, there's just so many more considerations that you need to make just because you've lost numbers. You don't have additional layers to protect you. So back into this A play now.
Two of them already have sights onto Sewer side and Kadum as well. Smoke will eventually dissipate here, and as soon as they did that, they just throw out the stealth drone to push them back. And Kadum says, here, have the relay bolts as well. Let me hold you in the corner. That is utiled up the heck out of Canadian as well. The very least, low range does at the very least trade one out here. But the damage has been done. They've lost 2 players.
And also, they don't quite have the guns.
No. Surf's timing could be massive here. Sheer wall has been set up as well. Not sure if he tripped that. Pretty sure he did. Regardless, does pull an attention away toward a link area. Another fault line online here, and immediately TB Lloyd, that crouch peek immediately demolishes the head of LBY. The same could be said for Surf here, finding the right timing for QQ God. Seraphop alongside Nifty, forced in this 2-man retake against 3 players. Cannot hold, only good for 1. And Nifty's position, I think it's noted. TB Lloyd pushing up toward him, immediately he peeks. Once again with a better gun in hand. The Vandal, TB Lloyd, gets another kill to his name, and Talon is just starting to... Excuse me, it's Sharper Esports starting to just really come up on top here.
Yeah, with a lead, but in the round, still Talon being able to, I think, surprise them. Initially, it just looked like the round was completely lost with how they were kind of setting themselves up around A long. You know, very clear, like util that lets Kadum know someone's hiding in the corner, so he goes in for that kill. But then, as time settles, Talon begin to sneak back in, and Sharper Esports is kind of unaware. So, next round coming up, we got the buys. You got the Rolling Thunder from low range. We'll see if he's able to use that to his advantage.
We're gonna
it's been 4 rounds now, so I think Talon have begun to understand. It's often the sheer wall around B, maybe Kadum to watch for A sometimes. And they could formulate a plan around these key pieces of information.
Beholding immediately Thorns come online, takes up the entirety of Garage side here, gets a pickup onto Snappy. Rolling Thunder will be used, but to answer back, they send out the Armageddon, a flash as well to keep them at bay. QQ God with a judge in hand here to see if anyone were to dare just come into his domain of smokes. Finds nothing, Surf decides to retreat. A good call, honestly. And the rest of Talon forced to retreat backwards.
Forced being the key word. Talon not in a good spot. Oh, Surf, what are you doing?
He's gonna try and challenge here. Not sure if there's 2 places forward here. The judge makes quick word of him. In fact, gives away a Vandal to QQ God.
Free. For free. We're doing charity work. Sharper Esports like, okay.
Thanks, man. TB Lloyd gonna rush forward here. Seraphop has a nice little close angle held as well. Just little tiny micro little crouches as well to throw off his aim. But Kadum looks to play aggressive. Now forced back here because of the Cosmic Divide. That flash goes huge. Gives LBY the right opportunity forward here. As the Overdrive comes online, Talon was very much ready for it. The plant comes in right at the nick of time here. And Talon, it's a 1v2. Tries to play a little bit more close. Challenges the wall, finds Niffy, and QQ got gonna try and find the right timing, dropping down, knowing that the wall masked his footsteps, quickly obliterates him. In fact, gives them an op to bring forward to the next round.
Heck yeah, that's a good call, Tash. The Cosmic Divide really allowed for QQ God to come up fusion around. Almost came close for low range, but yeah, Talon. Okay, I gotta preface this by saying I am not that smart. I am not like an analytical, I'm not that kind of a caster. However, even though I'm not smart, I know well enough that if you walk in the garage without much utility, kind of like what Forsaken did a while back, it's not a smart move. You get punished for it because you haven't checked if garage is clear. So Talon in this round, unfortunately, just donated several kills or guns over to Sharper, which is quite confusing. But okay, this time now, they're trying to be a little bit more clear with their intentions. You have the shock dart in, flash out just to check middle.
Oh.
But that flash just reveals everything to Sharper as well.
Love the follow-up as well. QQ God was ready to follow up with that. Snappy in the smokes here, blind shots about. He does take a bit of chip damage, but not more than that. Now for Niffy, he knows that Garage might potentially be compromised, so he's gonna put Thorns right in front of it in case they tend to just flood into C. That's great timing.
Peace. Oh no.
Sherwall tripped as well here. Niffy, a lot of attention rushing up forward here. And as soon as he just to clear the corners, really just pops his head. Canadian with that stinger makes it hurt at the very least. QQ got in this corner stunned as heck. Niffy quick to trade, and he just finds the members from all around B side. Niffy, this is your round, buddy.
Yeah, and it's his side as well. He's been controlling the majority of, you know, C-Link and B for a lot of these rounds. It's Razor Vines, he's hovering around C-Link, he's got that shear around Garage. Because Surf just kind of willy-nilly trips it, it's free information for Niffy, and he knows exactly how to play around that. I mean, look at this. This dude, he doesn't have like a fancy setup, it's a humble setup. But he's playing so well. I mean, this timeout from Coach Rennie on the side of Talon was sorely needed. This team really needs to figure out something, because currently TBLI seems a bit lost.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't quite been able to come up with like a truly successful round. The one round that they did pick up was a thrifty round where they, well, I guess like surprised Sharper, which was not bad.
Yeah. Honestly, I do like some adjustments, right? At the beginning of the round, they know that Kadum was going to push out, and then they decide, okay, let's throw some util out just to really just make him just really move back. Don't try and engage to them, and that's exactly what happened. It's that this is the beginning of the rounds are doing great for Talon. They know exactly how to react. It's the mid-round calls that I feel like they're like, okay, what now?
Sort of. But again, you know, this is a pretty sound agent composition. You've got the Waylay. We haven't seen too much from it. That previous round where they flashed middle was kind of unlucky. So we'll see. Once again, you've started to formulate. You kind of know where Sharper you prefer to set up. But off the timeout, Sharper have gone for a 4-1 stack. It's just the Vise over on A. She's got an op, though.
You would have kind of expected it to be, you know, the duelist, like, you know, holding on to that up. But this time around, that drone is going to deter them and just move away the position. So it gives them a lot of space onto A main.
One by one.
Here comes the ultimate, gives him a lot of space onto the side. In fact, just hopping over all of the Razor Vines as well. The rest of Sharper Esports, somehow they're just gonna come in all the way from CT side area, and everyone is just like, okay, who the heck is attacking and who the heck is defending? It's gonna be T side area. Talon already has full control of the side here. No clue how many people are on T side and attack side here. The op in hand, Niffy unfortunately hit for him, flashed as well as whiffs, so he's just pushed away from the area. Rolling Thunder used here, and suddenly the full control of the side area. They have to play the retake. Kadum already on the side. Canadian trades. You also have the Steel Guarder online, and somehow Canadian, this corner is played to perfection, but classic plays are the name of the game. Snappy with only 5 HP left, cannot hold on. And Sharper Esports somehow run away with the round still, and it was a very, very confusing round.
And this was off the timeout. It's painful. I gotta say, it cannot feel too great to be in Talon Academy's shoes right now. This could be their first Haven loss if this keeps up, because Sharper Esports are playing so well and they're reading Talon's intentions so well also. First of all, yes, it was unorthodox to leave Vise alone with the op and stuff, but you can see why they did that. You know, having the op, he's able to fall back after holding such a long line, and not only that, he had the ult for the retake. The rest of the team was flanking as well, and even though the wall was stripped, unfortunately, who was it? TB Loy wasn't, you know, quite effective at watching the flank, so Talon just kind of losing out on a lot of these fronts, and it's a collateral now, Tash.
Yep, the skewer QQ God was very anticipating of that push. I thought it was gonna be a 3. Imagine if it was a 3. Skewer, kind of hungry. Sorry, Quack. A lot of battles happening in front of Garage as well as TB Lloyd just slowly makes his way to the front of B-side area. There is Kadum at the very least, as well as a sheer wall. So Kadum can definitely expect a slide forward and immediately headshot to the face if he wants to. Puts the smoke down, wants to see if he can go and challenge. There we go, they tripped it, they moved it together. There's 2 people in sight. While there is information, there's 2 on site. They don't know how many crossed.
You blink.
Good hold from the backside there, Kadum. TB Lloyd not able to hold on forward, and Snappy gonna try to find another way into the site.
You got 30 seconds left as well. Like, do you just save? It's 2v5.
30 seconds left.
It's such a bad scenario to put yourself into, but Snappy's gonna try at least to still creep up.
Enemy remaining.
Off angle. And that's the spike
down,
dropped
B.
as well. Surf left all alone here. 1v5 not gonna be easiest. Think
10
that, I'm not
seconds
sure if
left.
Syrupfop is aware. I think he does have his suspicions at the very least. They're pinging where it's gonna be as well. Syrupfop nice off angle as well. Crosshair very much there, so it's a flawless round here. Again, a terrible situation for Talon to be in, like you said, Clark.
Yeah, the outlaw right off the rip, just that hurts, man. That stings. But following that, oh,
That's nasty.
you just
One
have
enemy
to
remaining.
admire how well Sharper Esports are playing. Because first of all, having the outlaw reading the economy, that's already something good. Afterwards, it's how they were able to position themselves across the map, because they've seen how Talon plays. You know they're not going to peek into C anymore. They can't go garage because you got util there. If they try B, Kadum's watching these angles. There's nothing that Talon could have done. Now you got the full buy, maybe. Let's see the Waylay do something.
It's just praising how the Waylay was able to go huge in the last game against Talon Academy, and this time around, it felt like Sharper Esports knew exactly how to deal with Snappy. Snappy this time around will be the one to trigger that sheer wall, but Niffy ain't moving. He's fine. Come onto the side, I guess. I'll just try and duel you here, but no one is coming in from sewers. A quick TP as well to Heaven side, and suddenly Talon is all red alert, knowing that they have managed to pull the rotations from Sharper Esports.
They're not fully aware yet, but this round started off very similar to how we saw just a couple of rounds ago, right off the timeout. Sharper Esport had the full push out from C, but one thing to note is the difference in the sheer wall this time coming out from Surf. It's placed all around mid because they didn't see anything. Now they think the backside is clear. That's why they're rotating back over on C, and if they do it timed well, they might be able to catch the site. They might be able to catch Syrupop as well.
Surf is gonna have the flank of the century if he times this right as well. They think this position already here, but Sharper prepped and primed and ready to play for these retakes. Fast lane to give them little space as well as a flash as well, just to really clear off the area. But the Hunter's Fury just cuts them from being able to enter the site. Rolling Thunder used. Surf, I think he's already noted the position of LBY here, and he does. Ranges as well to find Syrupop at the very least. Aware that they're about to be flanked here, about to be crunched. The off angle from Talon is just huge. But at the very least, Niffy does find one to his name, which is gonna be Snappy. But playing in this situation here, you gotta take these fights because you know there's someone around you. You're gonna die one way or another.
Yeah, much better coming out from Talon Academy. Like noted before, it's that sheer wall that was placed. They didn't really note anyone towards the flank, so it was a clear call to rotate over. and maybe slight over rotations from Sharper Esports as well. I mean, just kind of unlucky with how things have been going so far for either side,
Now we wait.
but nonetheless a great round picked up by Talon. Well, I mean, Sharper Esports, you know, they are also just trying to stay ahead and maybe trying to pull something different out. Now it's Kadum with the op, and he's pushing down mid.
Spots out the head as well. Canadian as well did note him as well. So Sharper Esports not gonna hold on too far, gonna move away as well. Smokes abound at the very least toward garage site. So they do have a bit of space, but not enough information for them to really pursue that area.
At least then for Talon to kind of have an idea of where the players might be positioned. So now looking for other avenues of entry back into the A site where they know the Vice has been for the longest time.
It's a very aggressive angle Niffy is holding as well, all the way inside of sewers as well. So just gonna check out forward here, but he's ready. Anticipation is good here from Sharper Esports. Kadum as well getting one kill of his own. And TB Lloyd just rushes up forward here. Footsteps noted by Niffy. His timing is good. TB Lloyd did spot him out there, but Niffy is just sharp as ever as well. And the last of Talon, again, this feels like the repetition of the last few rounds.
Enemy remaining.
Rangers as well will fall to that op at the very least. Canadian all alone, the big impact maker that I talked about from Talon Academy.
30 seconds
Does spot out
left.
Niffy, not enough to really figure out where the other members are. Sharp as heck as the very least to find one member. That's a Teho down, 29 HP left. But QQ God, his timing is good here. All his teammates are doing is just baiting, buying for time. As soon as he peeks out, he's gonna fall here. It's gonna be QQ God to find him in the end.
Still trying at least, but yeah, the end of it unfortunately not quite favoring Talon for now. I mean, this actually might be a really big brain move by the coach of Sharper Esports, Tash, Coach Cheney, I believe. Leaving Haven open, but then having a very clear set plan, especially with the composition, to try to foil how Talon has been playing their Haven game so far. Maybe. Because every step of the way, this Vise player, Niffy, has been blocking so much on the A site. And even back then, in the first few rounds, he was blocking up C as well as B. Now he's back on that spot of the map. And now you got Syrupop with the Armageddon over on A. Oh, Kadum as well, the sudden peek out.
Flick to the left as well, just like that. He's gone down as well. TB Lloyd trying to salvage the situation, gonna take a bit more space onto grass. And Kadum saying, okay, I think I've done my job here, made my presence known. Let's quickly reposition toward A side and see what I can find here.
For now, it won't be much. Again, more responsibility onto the shoulders of Niffy as well as QQ God. It does come down to some of the info gathering that Talon can scrounge up together. You've got a Sova drone. Get into a good place to use it. Also, another thing could be the fact that TB Loy is not with the team sometimes as a controller. If he's calling from such positions, he's not fully aware of what's happening with his team.
Oh, Niffy's stuck in a horrible position, but that crouch throws off Snappy, and he's just flashed out right now. Like it or not, he is eventually gonna fall here. Either you die to the aftershock, or it's gonna be the guns. The timing is good for TB Lloyd. No, it's not. LBY fully anticipating a push or out from the garage side. But the overdrive from Kadum goes massive. It goes nuclear even. 3 pickups, giving the 9th point to Sharper Esports.
And that all began with an impactful shot coming out from Niffy. He was stunned up by the Waylay Saturate, but he was still able to land the well-placed headshot. Look at that, one tap Tash. And also for Kadum, the reason why LBY was able to turn back around was thanks to Kadum's peripheral vision as he sprinted in towards the C site. Like TB Lloyd got caught out in that fashion, and sorry to say it, but this is just going every round, every way towards Sharper Esports right now.
Quack, would you like to call it the caster curse? We both voted for Talon Academy.
Maybe. It's our fault, guys. We're terrible casters.
Regardless, Kadum still with that op, making that first contact play. Snappy will be the next victim for his aggression. And he's not done. He's pushed himself all the way to the front of side here. He's sort of anticipating that someone will be playing toward the right side here close. But Talon, knowing that he's still holding, dares not peek.
Go away. Nasty situation.
all around the map as well. Sharper, nice angles held to their name. 1080 rendered down to only 2 HP left.
It's over. It's Jover. It's Jover Tash.
Who's Joe?
Biden?
Nah, man. The op shot, regardless of that flash, does not throw Kadum off. He's not done. Util dumps about, and even at Armageddon, Kanedi manages to seek shelter in the very corner of that angle. But regardless of whether or not he fights, he's going to eventually fall. The sheer numbers for Sharper Esports alongside the Util.
Switching sides.
Must have been terrifying being him, actually.
Having that much utility sent
Yeah.
towards your way.
Go.
Also terrifying if you're playing against Sharper Esports right now, because they got a very clear game plan that they are executing to perfection. Look at the snipers at play.
Regardless, it's still an 8-round deficit here. It's a big mountain to climb.
But they can pick up the pistol though. Could turn things around. They're all pushing up into A lobby right now.
They know where Kikigot is. Beacon as well, so TB Loy gonna try and find that tiny little angle to see what Kikigot is, but he's already anticipating this. Gonna still hold his teammate, is very close by as well for a quick trade. Snappy, very much ready for it as well, so they did challenge that. In fact, they're gonna take up more space here. Nifty's nice off angle here. They did check him out here. In fact, he's stunned, forced to run away. Nifty somehow wins out that fight. TB Loy and Snappy both fall here and greatly anticipating this push. And the rest of Sharper Esports has completely collapsed. And the rest of Talon forced to pick up the pieces in a 1v3. Not the easy situation. It's Surf all alone now.
Oh, that's really unfortunate for Surf. He's gonna have to try to cook something up together. He does have the frenzy, so some good damage. Swaps over onto the ghost. Has a flash as well if he is to check these close corners.
2 players, 3 players. In fact, they do find one gun barrel, and in fact, he triggers on numbers, forced into a 1v1, and Surf somehow. This clutch is incredible. 10 HP left. Finding these angles, his timing is good, and unfortunately for Sharper Esports, we're not expecting
a little more
this to happen.
No way. I mean, through sheer aim alone, and also a little bit for Sharper Esports to get well, not really overheated either, right? But you see the opportunity, you want to go for it. That's why LBY peeked out. But because he peeked out without Niffy behind him, it became 1v1v1. So well played by Surf to be able to land all of those shots. A great round picked up by Talon. Let's see if they can convert this to even more, especially with the amount of guns they have purchased up. Surf onto a Judge.
As you said, Craig, it starts with the pistol, and Kadum is going aggressive, but Surf is going to deny him entry onto Garage. That Judge, the Razor Vines, who should stop the rest of Sharper Esports from being able to make a beeline to there, and they set their sights to B main.
Got cross angles here.
Snappy's here as well. The smokes are at the very least here. They do check to see if any trips, anything at all has been set up. Finds nothing. So it's just blind shots around. Another smoke set up as well. Just keep the rest of Sharper Esports at bay. Paranoia sent out. Keeps the range at the very least away. The sprays are good here from Snappy, but at the very least, LBY is quick to trade up. Not done yet. Surf up with the perfect shot to the head with that Sheriff. But TB Loy 2 answer back here. So 1v1, DB Loy gonna take matters into his own hands. Finds 2, Niffy left alone. Only a Sheriff in hand.
Could still find some kills, possibly.
Marking him as well. Gonna go for a quick peek. Yeah, see some really insane Sheriff shots, but not today, Zerk. As TB Loy, 3 to his name. It's a great round for them. They did keep 3 guns. That's a Judge alongside a Guardian and a Bulldog.
Could have maybe swapped the Judge over onto another rifle, but we did see the impact of the Judge surprising opponents, you know, especially in things like Garage, or maybe play into a corner around the A or C side as well. So not too bad so far from Talon. You know, they've got the utility, they've got the reactions to rotate accordingly across the map, but this is now the first full test. Sharper Esports in with a full buy.
Salvo's a clear corner. There is a sheer wall as well there too, so it does really put a bit of a halt onto the aggression coming in from Sharper Esports earlier.
And sure space at least though for Kadum to possibly trip the wall, but he's gonna leave that alone for now. Maybe He should have seen it.
Maybe he doesn't
It's
know
also
who's
gonna
holding close.
be okay. So to trail back and drone in to keep Talon's players invested on the A side while you still have Niffy on alert. See, Niffy's not pushing, he's watching for possible rotations from Talon. That's what this whole game plan is about.
TB Loy's position here is very aggressive. Couldn't catch if he got off guard alone. He doesn't. He's very much anticipating this hold by TB Loy. In fact, they already have so much space to plant, and they do just that. They have a lot of util to work with as well. Orange is alone here at the very least. They did suspect that Niffy will be close as well. Snappy is going to quickly trade back. Sierra Pop still here to mid side. Here's all the sounds of the footsteps as well. No clue how many is around. Gonna move forward here, sees 2. The timing is good for him. He finds 2, in fact. What a beautiful spray coming into him. As Canadian Surf should fall next. Snappy left alone, forced to retake in a 1v4. Not the easiest situation to go for. Time definitely not on his side as well, as Kadoom very much ready for his arrival onto the site.
And what you're seeing is a lot more tactical play coming out from Sharper Esport. I mean, the whole game plan of leaving Niffy on the lurk. Niffy's playing the lurk to perfection, by the way, as well. I mean, he didn't overplay his hand. He picked up the kill that was needed. And after his death, Sirapop also didn't overpeak. Because he was able to pick up that spray transfer, the round was as good as over. So it's a lot of these movements like that that allow for Sharper Esport to pick up these rounds and for them to get within range of sending the whole map to map point now. Same game plan, slightly different for Kadoom though, and towards a short.
Still not done. Snappy waiting. LBY the opening there onto Canady. He's not done. But in fact, he does pull away the Snappy from his hold. Despite decides to go early, does not expecting at all that Kadoom had taken so much space into sewers. And now they have lost 2 members. Everything is starting to fall apart. They do get caught here at the very least on mid side there. That Arcros should give them all the information in the world, but Kadoom, he is aggressive, he is fast, and he is sharp as heck. You can tell he is feeling very hot right now. The rest of Talon forced into this retake. What can you do here? You're blocked by a smoke. You can try and isolate fights here, but it's so hard to see. Not a lot of util to play with as well. TB Loy got nothing as well. At least 5 more seconds to can put down another smoke. But his teammate all the way down here, Surf only has an Arcros.
Maybe.
Timing for
Niffy from the back.
Huge. Yeah. I think they've already heard the footsteps as well, so Niffy's timing could be massive. He's just really just finding his way all the way around B side as well. Kadoom decides to push up forward here. TB Loy tries to take away the crosshairs, but somehow Surf and TB Loy finds 2 at the very least. Niffy trying to find Surf here one more time. Surf is looking the other way at the very least, but I don't think timing is on his side here. As the salvos come through here, pushes him out of his hiding hole. At the very least, Niffy is ready to receive, so no saves for you today.
And they could have, the reason why they went hunting is because Talon has no money. They can't buy.
Oh no.
And at that point, the game could be over. What a well-constructed round by Sharper Esport. I mean, again, looking at the attack, very unlucky for Canady, by the way. He got shot behind a smoke, behind QQ God's dark cover. And then for Snappy to get way too curious to peek out. Fortunately, got gunned down by Kadoom, hiding in the corner as well. Now Talon recognizing they need to take this A space to prevent Sharper Esports from launching their game plan. But at this point, you don't have the best guns anymore.
You know exactly where he is. Kadoom gonna just throw in the relay bolt. They're just gonna quickly just spray through smokes, but Kadoom manages to not only get away, he only took a little bit of chip damage through all of that.
Right, because it's a stinger. And now you know, okay, maybe they might be around A. Let's try poking somewhere else across the map. And what we do know as casters is that it's just TB Loy on the C site. So with enough info gathering, Sharper Esport could formulate that plan as well. They're thinking about B though.
And Surf's position already noted because of the stealth drone as well. And it's immediately a smoke in reaction, so they can't push in either. So Sharper Esports gonna say, okay, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board here. Kadoom, I'm pretty sure that he actually did spot out Canady just for a little bit there.
I got the spike.
So they're gonna try and challenge this.
Canady might have spotted him out as well, maybe for a quick second on the mini-map. That's why we're seeing some rotations back in. So a possible full clash, but Rolling Thunder.
As well as the overdrive, quickly gonna clear all ranges from the side of Graffiti. But Canady, he's not done quite yet. Quick touch to the head. This is the big impact victory we're talking about. And in fact, with Canadian there, with Snappy there, excuse me, a quick TP forward here. QQ got tries to catch him off guard, and TP Loy looked up and quickly swaps over to the gun he took away from QQ got. This is a massively huge round for Talon. And Nifty, he can't do much. With 10 seconds to go, no control of the spike. Perhaps it's the time to call to save and just bring the gun next forward. He does have money though. He can still try. He can buy up the next round.
Well, he's pinned down. He can't jump across over, so looking
That's
for
an exit frag.
an opportunity. Yes, exit frag will be very gladly picked up. Now he's one away from the ult, so still not too bad. But yes, a sharp round, all helmed by Canadian. Honestly, hiding inside of this smoke was one thing that we haven't seen from Talon so far, and because he did it right now, it just surprised Sharper Esports. And playing around that corner that way, it prevented Sharper Esports from finding their sight, really. So, well played, but you still need 7 more rounds. Nonetheless, it's a great look coming out from Talon. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Kadoom once again doing the same thing of just going straight into sewer site. But Canadian, knowing that's going to be there, somehow finds LBY, takes a tag as well onto Sirapop. And they lost to Kadoom as well in that process, the initial skirmish onto A.
Oh.
Gonna tag, gonna try and manage to just bait out that wall. Snappy here is waiting and holding, so quickly just gets a pick off, reflects back. Sharper Esports, it's been a while since I've seen them really scratching their heads. No clue where to go here. As Canadian, I don't think I spotted the 2 members that's already on B site. So B site should be ripe for the planting, but the retakes here is going to be impossible to deal with the sheer amount of numbers of Talon. So they're going to try and dwindle it down quickly. Moves to a garage site where Talon is just making it his home. And TBloy has an idea where Niffy is, and somehow that whiff will not give him any dividends. And TBloy will be the one to find another kill to his name.
And another round strung together for Talon, right? He needs 6 more, so not too bad. Again, it's the early A pushes, especially with the Sova ult. You have Snappy, you know, doing some stuff as well. Things like that, which prevent Sharper Esports from getting that space. You know, they still feel the need to contest for this A main area, and that's kind of the thing that they've been struggling with for a while. That kind of also happens because of the ults from Talon, but those aren't things that you can keep repeating for every round, right? So not too bad, but surely with this timeout now, Sharper Esports trying to cook or brew something up. It could just be like a sudden C rush, and Talon need to anticipate or need to consider these possible scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, Talon Esports finally figuring things out, taking their time. I think it's really good as well. I mean, I like seeing Surf. I mean, we talked about how Surf was playing inside of Garage. He's been very much there. And somehow he's still managing to really make sure that it's just like, Garage is a no-go zone, guys. Don't cross it.
Could be one of those things. Well,
2 ults for Sharper. Sorry, Quack, go ahead.
Sorry, what was it?
No, go ahead, Quack.
Lost my train of thought now. It's all good. Okay, so you got some anchor utility onto the A site, especially with that sheer wall. You don't have the best guns on the side of Sharper.
Yeah. 2 ultimates you have for Sharper Esports. They do have the Steel Garden from the shadows as well. They need to use it, but QQ God's going to quickly TP onto the site, quickly go for that quick plant. You can see a lot of pressure coming through, so he's going to be TP in, plant, TP out, and just play off on B main. It's planted out all the way in the open as well. I'm gonna go for a defuse, and they also have their own answer, which is the Cosmic Divide. The Steel Garden will be used at the very least. Gonna try and use the ultimate from the Waylay, just slow things down. Snappy caught in the crossfire here with a shorty in hand to see if anyone will be crossing, and he does. Niffy to fall next. They go for another half again, and they do get it in the end, weaponizing all of their utility and talent. This is a very insanely well-played round.
Explosive round for sure, with all the ultimates that were sent in, but also I think a really intentional one where Talon allowed for Sharper to get that spike down. I mean, B, you know, everyone knows you got A and C link, a great place for you to launch a retake from, but the thing that I was kind of questioning was why didn't Lorraine send the aftershock? And the reason for that is because they knew that they could get the spike defuse at least half with Snappy on that refract. So quick defuse, stuck all the way through. We go to the next round. Now Sharper Esports for the real hit back into the A site. They have to be aware that there is a Vise at play.
They already activated the Thorns as well, but Niffy is off angle, gonna catch TV Loy off guard here. Whiffs a bound. Regardless of that, Niffy still managing to recover and getting that pick off. And Sierra Pop gonna just making sure to see if anyone's on the side as well, at least for the time being. Talon has managed to really conceal themselves to the back of site and take away the space in the front. But they were very much ready for it. Read like a book here and Surf to fall next. Smoked off Heaven here. Here comes Armageddon just to clear out the backside. Nice little off angle from Lorraine at the very least. Finds one. Snappy as well. But here in the situation where there's so many bodies thrown in here, Canadian QQ God cannot really hold. Canadian, sharp as ever, surviving by the skin of his teeth with 7. But still, Snappy is there to assist. Another round on the board for Talon, and they shoot back on the defense side.
Yeah, I wonder if Sharper were kind of surprised there. Like, they wanted to go for the A hit, right? They had Sirpop doing a lot of the recon work. But because the drone was eluded or evaded a lot, especially by Surf, I think they didn't see enough players on the site. They thought the Armageddon did enough to block things off so that when they did begin to swing, then they were surprised by players like Lorraine, Canadian still around A. So more rounds strung up together now. I mean, this could be a comeback, Tash. You got no money on Sharper Esports in this round.
Questioning a lot on the attack side. It felt like Talon was sort of, know how to play, but this time around they look so sharp and snappy with a great opening onto Kadum as well. He's not done. Shoots 2 hits, make it 3. Almost done, but Niffy, he's gonna answer back with that Sheriff at the very least. But the damage is done one more time here. They don't have good guns to play with. The only things they have are 2 sheriffs. Granted, we've seen incredible headshots coming up forward here. But Talon, they have angles. Every single one covered. As Surf, good to find one. And QQ God will be the next to fall as well. Losing only Snappy in this process. And I have to say, that initial hit from Snappy was so scary to watch.
I know, right? And it's just so well set up by Lorraine. I mean, I wonder if this is one of these rounds where TVOI kind of sets up for it with positions on the map, but as soon as the hit goes through, that Rolling Thunder was hit to stall the rest of the team from pushing into the C site. And Snappy, knowing that the enemy team was concussed, he wanted to go for the kills, dude. He light speed, went straight out of garage, found as many as he possibly could. And those numbers really gives Talon a lot more edge in this last stand against Sharper Esports. Sharper Esports, though, this is the first round now where we're seeing them not toy with A site.
They did throw a bit of util in, but they didn't really pursue that A site area. Setting aside, it's onto grass.
Locating targets.
Yeah, so if you're Talon right now, you know that they could be around. So you gotta watch out, especially with the drone going through. TV Loy.
Changed their mind again. Didn't really want to pursue the garage side area. Side's okay. We can try and re-hit A. The thing about Talon is that they haven't moved at all. Canadian has been holding this angle for quite some time, but Kadum, I think, has already anticipated that. Quick shots to the head and not able to burst onto the site. And QQ God manages to TP all the way down hell. No clue where he is as well here. Surf can just swing out, find a pickoff, and that's exactly what happened here. LBY will be the victim of the situation. Gets the spike. So walk into the site, just gonna quickly just stun up Heaven's side, gives him a bit of space and to put down the smokes. Graffiti side as well. Can just quickly find his partners. Beautifully played by Kadum as well, finding the head of Lorange. Clears out the bottom side of hell. QQ God hasn't moved at all from the situation here. It's looking very dire for Talon, not a lot to work with as well. Snappy finds one. Still a 2v2 regardless. Sierra Pop just toying with them, playing a ring around the rosy, but Niffy's timing is impeccable, which gives them a crossfire.
Doozy between both teams. Like, there's no other way to put it. But I'm also wondering about the compositions as well, because they've stuck with what has worked for them before, but the clear contrast between the Yoru as well as Neon.
I mean, I think Kadum is just so comfortable at Neon. Why change something when you're already that comfortable on it? You know it's gonna work. What about the Yoru though? What is your opinion about Snappy on this Yoru quack?
So my opinion is the other thing that I'm going to bring up. You got double control on one end and a true sentinel in the form of Cypher on the other end. Yoru is an agent that can kind of bypass sentinel utility sometimes, which is why Sharper Esports, they're going to have to be quite aware of how Snappy might play, how he might send his gate crash across, especially on this defensive half for Sharper Esports.
Canadian is just going to quickly send out, clear out rubble at the very least, so it gives them a bit more space to work with as they walk toward the A site area. Now, this A site area is a bit more the passive area. Usually, we see a lot of fights to a rubble, right? But not this time. Not from Sharper Esports. They have other things in mind here. 3 members onto B site.
Drone is down.
Immediately, the stealth drone gas gets released, and Sharper Esports try to go aggressive and punish them for it, but somehow 2 players from Talon completely demolished with the salvos. They weren't able to move. They weren't able to run away from this initial skirmish. The rest of Talon try to find a way differently onto the site as well. And look how far in the position where Surf has pushed. All the way up here, breaks the trip. So it does give an idea where they're going to push here. But LBY was very much waiting with open arms, or rather a gun for Snappy as well. Niffy knows already where the position Surf might be, so he decides to play onto the top side of A, and LBY will be the one to just play that contact to make sure go a bit more investigative, and Surf should fall. Canadian's the last man standing with only 35 HP left. These positions noted, salvo sent out as well, 14 seconds to go. Where are you gonna move here? Right click to the face? No, but it's, at the very least, QQ God is gonna quickly pick up the pieces, and Canadian not gonna be able to sustain.
Yeah, almost flawless, but not too bad. Canadian's still able to find shots. Again, LVY, this dude is Professor Xavier from the X-Men. Oh, he's not bald, but he's in a chair, and he's like so smart that he can see everything that's happening. As soon as he hears stealth drone coming out from Canadian, fault line. And then you got salvo from Serapop. The players who were hiding around Pillar from Talon just died. So, position's different now. You got the guns. And they're taking space around C. Oh, they hurt it.
Ooh, he was ready for that big swing up from Smurf as well, but the shorty comes out as well from Snappy, so he has 1 to his name. Picks up a rifle as well, I believe. I'm not too sure. But at the very least in that as well, that Aftershock keeps the rest of Sharper Esports from being able to push onto the site as well. Paranoia set up to perfection, but Kadum was already anticipating the push from the rest of Talon. Now Loranges here alone. They know exactly where he is, notes the footsteps, and he's just running away with his life. It's a plant though.
Spike planted.
Trying to find the right time, just swing out with his teammates here. Range is going to try to get a bit more space forward, tries to crouch out, but Kadum already with 4K to his name, looking for that final member, the ace. Canadian alone can deny it. He does have a sheriff checking every corner that he's looking at.
I'm out of here
as well. Kadum trying to stay away from the situation, but Niffy will be the one to steal the last pick off. At the very least, we're not seeing any cam saying, hey, you take my kill.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, I mean, he looks okay. Well, I was gonna say, right, like, Kadum, if you don't move soon enough, someone's gonna steal that ace away from you. But it's teamwork at the end of the day, and you can tell that Sharper Esports are still able to adapt around these pushes, right? You see this crazy dive in from Snappy, and well, it was just a ghost, I think, that Serapop was holding on to. But instantly, Kadum knows they might be wrapping around. They might be trying to push from waterfall or maybe like back hall. I gotta watch for this. And he plays so darn sharp. So 2-0 for now. You got the gun still. You got 2 outlaws. Am I saying that right?
Yes. Without a doubt. Does that answer your question?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, honestly, you know, I do question it, but sometimes unorthodox methods, we've seen it happen throughout the entirety of today. Talon Academy, they don't know what's gonna hit them right now.
Well, Sharper Eastward might not know either. You got Niffy on site with a camp, but he doesn't have the best gun to hold.
Drone going out.
So I'm a little bit concerned. He's holding really close on site. Okay, falls back.
Haven't noted his position quite yet as well. Snappy does get revealed as well from the spy cam. try to go for the plant, but will be denied because of the salvos as well. So they're gonna plant a little bit in a bit of a different situation angle than it's used to. Starpot gonna rush forward here. The aftershock regardless will find its mark here, but cannot do more than that. As range as well as lowering, excuse me, and Snappy still the areas they're holding gives them dividends. So many members of Sharper Esports fall down like flies, leaving QQ God all on his lonesome here.
Not much you could
Not
do
gonna
really
try.
either. Yeah, save or exits, and if he gets one more kill, then he could buy a rifle for his teammate in the next round. But this is why you see, like, double outlaw,
Yeah.
maybe overcooked.
Maybe overcooked.
Perhaps they were thinking that their opponents could have been on light shields, maybe, but Talon... No, they didn't get the spike plant in the previous round, so maybe that's why. But there were still some kills going over, and, well, Talon Academy could... Well, they afforded shields, so unfortunately, yes, this outlaw play didn't work, but also you can start to see how Talon Academy can create plays with this specific toxic screen up towards the A site. And so far, Sharper Esports haven't really been contesting for rebel control. Now they got 3 people here. You can bet they might be able to do something.
They want to do just that here. Was held as well, but for the rest of Talon, their sides are set onto B main. Checks to see if anyone is there, finds nothing. Could just try and see if they can find anyone coming in toward Mount area here. Nice high-low held as well. And despite everything, they do get that cage up. They do get the stealth drone broken. Now Talon, they're blind once again. They have no clue where to look right now. And I think Kadoom sort of fell asleep there. Didn't really react in time as well and sort of quick to capitalize off that mistake.
Gotta stay laser focused, but that will be Talon now possibly able to pull more attention away back into the A site, which does leave B as well as C somewhat open. But you could still see players like QQ God as well as LBY hovering around these spots just in case they need to hold it.
Door will be toyed with once again. As the rest of Talon will just be setting their sights to the C side. I think QQ God is very aware of the situation. Fortunately for him, he's going to be flushed out of his area from behind pillars. So he's going to take a refuge all the way in the backside there onto halls inside of the smokes. They get the plant at the very least here. The rest of Sharper Esports, they're coming up forward here. 4v4 retake.
Yeah, still alive, right? You got salvos, you got fault line, and they can flush Talon out of position.
T-Bloy holding. Shots are good onto Sirapop as well. That's a great opening onto them. The rest of Talon are just going to try and spray to see if anyone's just holding on onto the bottom side of the area. QQ got quickly eliminates to Beloy, but Canadian Loranges, that's nasty shots from those corners. Crossfires about as well. Niffy forcing a 1v3 retake. Time running out. No clue where exactly to look here. Tries to isolate the angles. Good to find one. No, not even. Surf's positioning and also his streaks was just too much to deal with. And Talon, they make this competitive at 2-2.
Well played. Initially, it would have been the utility, the initiator utility especially, from Sharper to flush Talon out of their hidey holes. But great retaliation from TB Loy because he sent that paranoia out at the same time, and that prevented Sharper from flooding the site. He even took a shot against one of these players, and because of that, having numbers advantage, they were then able to play out the rest of that post plant. Now back into the A fight though.
Bit more of aggression coming in from Sharper Esports. In fact, they want to really make sure that they're able to fully hold on to this area. But Canady was very much ready for Sharper Esports' initial push here. He'll be punished. The Bucky knocked down already. As the rest of Sharper is forced to move back, not able to hold on to Rubble any longer.
Also a slight mishap, Tash. I think QQ God's paranoia unfortunately hit Kadoom, so he couldn't see what was happening on this A main area, which then leaves Talon to think we can take the space. Let's create some noise as well, assert our presence while Surf is lurking across C.
Has so much space already, but that off-angle camera does spot out the member of where Surf is as well, forced him to the corner as well. The rest of the teammates are going to push him together. They have a cross, a beautifully set up cross, all the way from Waterfall, all the way from Halls as well. And the rest of Talon, they want to go in fast. They're smoked off, they can't really push up forward. And Sierra he has salvos to play with as well as splashes, so they can't push out together. They're forced to retreat, quick pivot onto the B side, but Sierra somehow through the door manages to land this beautiful shots onto Canadian. They are not done. Quick shots through those smokes, blind spams, and even an Armageddon set out to just deny Talon from being able to plant. But TP Loy was ready. LB White didn't stand a chance. He turned around, shot him in the face, and QQ got here very much waiting for TB Loy. But he's not done. He's sharp as ever. Nifty good for one, but cannot do more. TB Loy, he goes huge this round with 3 kills to his name. Sirapon, he wants to try and challenge, and it's good because he does take a TB Loy down at the very least. A 1v1 here. Loranges alone, he makes his presence known onto stairs, and Loranges, anticipating that push, finds nothing. Because for Sharper Esports, Sirapop, he decides to come into the side from another side. It's from heaven, and I think it's been read already by Loranges. Time is not on his side here. He has to move and has to do something fast here. And Loranges still waiting. You can see the fault line set up forward here. He's stunned, but that crouch just tosses every single setup that's done, and he still manages to seal the deal and run away with this thrifty Sharper Esports. What?
Unbelievable shot from Sirapop. I mean, stunts are cosmetic now. Nah, I'm kidding. It does still hit you, right? And your fire rate is largely affected, but there is a way to kind of center your crosshair, and Sirapop did just that. It was so good. I think he anticipated that this guy would be playing the fault line, so as long as I can aim and I can land my shot, I would be able to find that clutch. I mean, what a guy to be able to pull off such a moment like that. Meanwhile, for the other side, though, it's just the positions that Sharper Esports were playing. Next round up, it's Talent now trying to push back.
Oh my god, it's a shooting galley coming up here. Sharper Esports decides to play with speed. Kadum takes up so much space already. And as soon as the overdrive comes online, Lorraine just said, nah, bro, sit down. Shoots him back down. And Talon, despite all of that, lost 3 members already.
Well, trying to recover as much as possible. They are going to peek back.
Shadows traveling.
Another one-way smoke set up as well. Not the easiest to take this fight. But Lorraine is at the very least gonna steal away 1 member of Sharper Esports. Makes it a bit more competitive. A 3v2 still not the hardest to deal with compared to a 4.
Just to hold the angles.
Corner here, Sylph will be playing that first contact. Finds Sirapop. Hasn't noted a position of LBY. So he's managed to juke away that fault line. But Lorraine just waiting for that right hit. I'm not too sure what the heck happened here. Because that start of the round was so devastating for Talon Esports. Nifty here forcing his 1v2. The sprays are good. He's flashed out. Putting a lot of damage onto Surf. A bit more chip damage onto Lorraine. Not done yet. High-low setup as well. If he goes out here, not too sure what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh my god. That was a 2v4!
I'm not sure how they dropped the ball on that, because that initial fight on Mount was in Sharper Esports' favor.
Yeah, well, it's just unfortunate. First of all, great reaction with low range onto the Rolling Thunder, but the next ones are the ones that kind of sting, but also understandable, right? Initial shot from Surf, that was good. Was it QQ God? The position was a little bit too exposed. But then for, I think, LBY, he knew someone was close by, and he wanted to try to get ahead of them setting up that site hit. So peeking in, unfortunately, that's when he got slapped across the face as well, shall we say? So it's not exactly like his fault. You can kind of understand why he did what he did. But it's so unfortunate that it just happened to be Talon being able to turn things around that way, and then just a 1-on-2, so unwinnable at that point. But yeah, great reactions coming up from both sides, because Talon, you still have sharpshooters on this team, and Sharper Esports to try to really play a smart game. I think TB Loy has been not too bad with his own positional plays as well. But we'll see. You know, now You've got the overdrive burnt. You don't quite have the guns for this round. But Coach Janey just gave you a talk for the upcoming round, so we'll see if Sharper Esports can find a lead back against Talon.
You have the setups, the trip set up on A there for towards stairs, toward tree as well. And Kadum this time around positioned himself all the way a lot more aggressively toward Mountside area.
Yeah, trying to hide and see if you can catch an unsuspecting player. Snappy though, smart with the outlaw. Could punch through the light shields of the Sharper players.
Here.
Look at the aggression coming in
Oh, he
all the
saw
way
the
from
cam.
C round area.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, but the smoke just got refreshed, which also kind of means A is somewhat weaker right now.
Go ahead. Stand.
Armageddon will be thrown out here. Nifty gonna throw some blind shots here. Moving away with the paranoia. Nifty's not done, but the right click to the face from Snappy will give dividends. But in this corner as well, didn't check for QQ God, so he's gonna be fighting Surf. In fact, getting an upgrade with the gun as well. But TB Loy gonna be quickly shutting him down in this situation. Throws the paranoia out there, but Sharper Esports, they were ready for it. They're just waiting this initial hit with the util. Excuse me. As TB Loy goes on the side, they know exactly where he is as well. Not sure whether or not he's already suppressed, but Kadum does what he does best. Rush out forward, shoot him in the face. And that timeout paid dividends for Sharper Esports. What a thrifty.
Another thrifty Tash. This is insane. Sharper Esports.
Any gun.
They pick up those guns. I'm really trying to like attempt to understand what's going on. I don't know if it was intentional, but I think giving Talon Academy a rabbit to chase, and Talon just went for it. And because of that, you had some of these players like QQ got hiding in these corner spots and then finding guns off of it.
Both teams trying to go aggressive. Both teams really trying to assert dominance onto Rebel side area. It's not going to be Sharper though. Forced back because of that flash.
Yeah, but at least they know there is some A presence now. So sooner or later, Syrup Pop and QQ got can kind of route back in towards the sites.
Gonna push himself into this corner where QQ got initially was here. Aggressive angle as well. Immediately, as soon as the stealth drone breaks, they throw out the utility, they throw out the paranoia. Kadum and QQ got one each. But Snappy as well does get one, so at the very least. Advantage still very much in Sharper Esports in terms of players alive. Snappy gonna walk in with the clone. Knows that it's gonna be someone close by, but Snappy is just gonna quickly wide swing forward, finds one to his name. But Syrapop, his time is gonna be huge here. Catches low range as the Idol's trying to get out to side here. Suspects someone onto Heaven's side, but Niffy was very much ready for trade. TB Loy here alone in a 1v2, spike in hand. Neural Theft will give away his position. Can't force the plant quite yet. Gonna set up with those smokes, but now this time around, as the smoke goes down, he's gonna try and rush forward. Made his positions noted already from the other side of the map here, but Niffy gonna catch. The timing is so good from this guy, and TB Loy not able to hold.
Yeah, I mean, just a great exchange coming up from Sharper Esport. Again, the whole round is won throughout the mid round, and what you're seeing is the drone into information for Sharper. They knew that, they confirmed that there were players from Talon Academy across this entire like A main spot, you know, into the site and everything. Because of that, first of all, you had salvos and a great layered exchange. They had the stun and the omen flash from QQ God to allow Kadum to peek out. Kadum was there for added cover as well. Because of that, you have a good exchange where you get a 2-4-1, and then that puts Sharper Esports at a great numbers advantage. Down to Niffy playing out the final bits of the round. So Talon getting red.
Oh, this aggression from Kadum will be immediately punished. Talon was very much ready and aware that Kadum might take a little bit more space. And Snappy, the Dimensional Drift is going to ping out all the other members around here. And Sharper Esports somehow is going to lose control of the entire B area. They get the plant here onto that B site, and the rest of Sharper Esports is going to be forced to go for his 3-man retake here. QQ God at the very least does a great job of dwindling on the numbers at the very least, so TB Loy should fall first. LBY noted by the drone. Nifty as well. Gonna be flashed out together. It's gonna be an easy job here from Loranges as well as Canadian to find 1 each. QQ got with only 10 HP left in a 1v3. An almost impossible task if you ask me. Only 1.1k left. I think the only call here is to save. I think he's already noted the footsteps coming in from Snappy. So he's gonna hold a little bit more close, but Snappy knows where he might be.
Yeah, quick to check. 4 to 5, Tash. It's a pretty good round from Talon. Noting the early movements from Kadum, which this time didn't have as much support as before. Just the fault line, but you look at the positioning from the Talon Academy players. They were playing so far back. It was just one guy around pillar that actually did get hit by the fault line, and that made all the difference. Having Kadum sent out like that meant that B was slightly weaker, and Talon Academy just pounced on the opportunity. Next round coming up, though, we do have ultimates all across the board. Lagrange on the Rolling Thunder. We'll see if he's able to use it, because clearly Sharper wants to push out, wants to make Talon Academy feel uncomfortable.
Locating targets.
Positions where QQ got is could be massive here, but the Rolling Thunder is just going to quickly move him out of the way, so he's forced to shadow step out regardless, from the shadows out, as Niffy does find that initial hit onto Surf here, which is massive if you ask me. So at the very least for QQ God, he survives the initial skirmish, and finding Surf, I would take that as a W at the beginning of this round.
Yeah, that robs the Viper's Pit away. Snappy, though, trying to lurk and create as much noise as possible to allow his teammates to get back space around the A site. QQ God jump peeking for info.
Hasn't spotted anything quite yet. Maybe he did, not too sure, but the door does alert everyone here. Kadum, no one crossing him at the very least, so everyone gonna come in from 3. To work Heaven side there, they're smoked off here, but somehow Snappy was very much waiting for Kadum to come out. Didn't come through here. He tries to check, finds him. But for the rest of Sharper Esports, they have their own Rolling Thunder to play with as well. TB Loy forced to TP away here from this corner, repositions himself, but the rest of Sharper Esports were very much ready for him. Mark him already, 2 players dropped on already. The flash does not hit at the very least, but Snappy, TB Loy, as the rest of the team completely pounce onto the remaining members of Sharper Esports. And they weren't able to shoot back here. 5-5. I am very, very entertained at how back and forth these rounds have been here for Sharper Esports and Talon Academy.
I think, yeah, it's also been phenomenal work from Talon Academy. They're starting to recognize and read some of Sharper's movements, like knowing that they can play back and forth around with some rotations, get space back into the site. You're starting to see that, you know, even with Surf gone, the likes of TB Loy, Snappy especially, has been able to pick apart some of these Sharper players, prevent them from getting retakes online. Now we're seeing a Sharper in a situation where they don't have the best guns, and it's a good chance for Talon Academy to really walk away with the 7-5 first half, possibly.
The position's noted as well, and Surf is just forced back here. And Niffy in retaliation will put up that cage, but Snappy has been very, very on the ball when it comes to these skirmishes, reads the positions of where Sharper Esports might be. But Sharper Esports not done. They're going to go aggressive and pushing out from B-side area here. QQ got a beautiful wall bang into TB Loy's hit. And the rest of Talon going to retaliate by just completely spraying the heck out of the 2 members here. So QQ got not able to survive this skirmish. At the very least, Kadum does run away, barely surviving. 18 HP left.
Still holding on to their guns, though, not wanting to give up too much. Fault line for a peek.
As the door opened, LBY just completely obliterated here, but Kadum is very much online here. Tries to get the initial hit onto Surf, can't do just that, and Surf is just pre-firing all about to see if anyone were decided to just push out. Gets that plant.
Planted.
And this situation, with only a Sheriff in hand, a 1v4, can dwindle down numbers, I suppose. You might get crunched right here. No need to get crunched when Snappy is this snappy. Looking very good from Talon Academy right now. just
Last
trying to
round
snowball that
before the
7-5 very much in their reach.
Yeah, the ult's in their reach as well, and especially if Snappy or who else was it? There's one other player who was close to their ult, but if Snappy gets, you know, your dimensional drift, he can really like force Sharper Esports off their positions, which will make them feel really uncomfortable. So yeah, the other one I was thinking about was Canady. He's 2 away from Armageddon, so very key ultimates for Talon to pick up in this round.
Seeing that Odin just being shredding through that wall as well. They fight nothing at the very least. So QQ God gonna position themselves in the corner. In fact, gonna see if he can catch anyone off guard if they decide to cross his smoke. So seeing where Kadum is as well, still playing toward the mountainside, and on top of that, he's suppressed, so he doesn't have that get off jail free card in terms of that dash. So Surf is just keeping an eye out. No one moving quite yet, and I believe that LBY might just be setting up maybe an aftershock, maybe a flash just to really give Kadum a bit of space to work with. Ooh, Niffy tries to swing that. Lorraine just was very much ready for it. Another flash to come out inside as well. And the rest of Sharper kind of stuck here in this corner. QQ still hasn't been found quite yet. The position is there. QQ smoke criminal, if you want to call him that. In the smokes, TP's out forward. But this pit from from Surf is going to be pivotal to the round. TBLoy taking a lot of damage and sprays as well. But TBLoy, what a spray! Getting 2. LBY shuts him down here. Goes through the smokes. 1v2, no clue where exactly where Surf is, excuse me. No idea where Canady is. Gets a tap. Blind shots through the pit as well, but for Surf, he was just very much ready for it. It is his world after all.
Especially with that snake bike at the end, not much that LBY could do, but nonetheless, and that's exactly the round. You know, you had these moments where QQ tries with the flash to give his team an advantage, but somehow with the op being shot back,
As well was happening.
it's not fair. I'm calling these predictions like just a few rounds before they happen, so it's like it's more like educated guesses. But well, we will have Sharper Esports trying to launch things into the site with Kadum though gets shot down.
What the heck happened there? He just rushes up forward here. It was a flash straight to the face. Wasn't able to land those shots as well. Regardless, as they try to come through those onto the site here, that choke was just a bloodbath. Canady, Surf, Niffy, Kadum all going down there regardless. And LBY here holding very, very far back, and Talon reading them. There's going to be someone going to be lurking around here. Sirapop not done here. He's going to be the next challenger, rising up to that challenge here. Range, keeping an eye out where he could possibly be. But it's enough, there's information itself. But he doesn't know that Snappy is going to come in from mid-side here. Unfortunately for him, none of his sheriff shots are going to hit here. Sirapop's probably questioning how the heck he survived that initial skirmish here. As QQ and Sirapop gets 1 each. TBLoy here in a 1v2 situation all alone. Oh, timing is good right now. Right click to the face. Quick repositions abound as well. Gonna find him in the end. QQ God, what a save is this round. I'm honestly kind of confused as to what happened there.
It's true, it is a save. That's actually like a round save because they were able to string things back. I do wonder if it was intentional. I assume that it isn't, because if it isn't, then it's a really smart mid-round adaptation by LBY. He knows that his opponent figured out that he slipped through, and because of that, he pulled their attention closer towards like the C side of the map, and that allowed for the rest of his team to get the spike down. From which point, then Sirapop and QQ landed their shots, turning the 2v3 around. Next round coming up. Now they've got the guns. This would allow for Sharper Esports to really find a great leap in their second half.
Just quickly clear out the front of the C site there with the self-drone, and immediately Kadum's is going to follow suit here forward. He's rushing up forward here, ready and knowing where the position where TBLoy is going to be. As Talon tries to reposition and take up that space onto C site, the paranoia should be the bay, but somehow Surf, good to find LBY, as followed by Kadum as well as Sirapop as well. Every single member of Talon is falling down like flies, and Snappy in a position where he's only forced to play retake with a Marshall. It's not going to be easy. Gets half HP onto Sirapop before finally knocked down here. Sharper Esports, they are gonna just slowly equalize the numbers here. 7-7.
No one else can judge you.
And in that round, Theron tells how Sharper Esports are looking to operate on this attacking half of theirs. That's what their composition can do. On the side of Talent Academy, right, you don't have a true sentinel. You have your controller players, and that's the best that you got. So if you're not able to put up strong enough roadblocks, players like Kadoom, especially layered with Surpop plus LBY's utility, they can just walk all over you. And that's what Talent Academy needs to watch out for. Right now, controlling Rebel at least gives them some more leeway across the map. But here comes the push.
Aggressive push on the side itself, and despite the fact that they lost just now, I mean, Kadoom losing the initial skirmish onto that side against the Tejo, but this time around he wins it in the end with that flash. Yuki got to get so much space here on the way to CT side. Gets one pick off. Lorangers to follow down next here, and forced to isolate these angles. Surf is close by as well. He needs to find that right timing here, but Lorangers, he can't hold on any longer here. For Surfs, with only 81 HP left, a gun in hand, he doesn't have any money here. The right call is to save, but Kadoom was very much aware that he might somehow spawn somewhere there. Not spawn, but turn off somewhere there.
Yeah, maybe just to either look for exits or maybe just tie up the economy that he's saying he goes as his teammates. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's exactly what I'm talking about. You got Kadoom and he just slides in. You know, they make some noise across the map. Talent Academy starts to rotate over, and that's when Sharper Esports strikes. You got so much that they can do. It's a tried and true composition where you got Breach Tail, which is so meta right now. But we'll see. Some jiggle peeks, jump peeks. Kadoom instantly spots him out.
Your precision back here. TP Loy barely survives that initial skirmish. Dwindled out to only 17 HP left here. The rest of Talon is seeing a bit more of an aggression coming in from in front of the B side, and position of Snappy as well onto it Rebel side.
Trying at least. Sharper Esports trying to be cautious in case there are some cheeky angles being played, like this one.
Try and set up for those initial peaks here. Maybe a flash rush up forward, maybe a slight hold there with a flash. Snappy was waiting for the anti-flash there. Not able to turn back as well, so Sharper Esports takes full advantage of these situations. Two members from Talent knocked down already here. Taking a more slow approach here, understanding that this is an eco round for Talon. They might go a bit more aggressive, and it was a good anticipation actually.
Right, so one kill. Now thinking that might have put the rotations over, and then Niffy making so much noise around C. It's clear, but Talent Academy doesn't have the firepower.
Is up this corner here, can't really hold as well as TB Loy. You're stuck in a very dangerous, aggressive angle, but Loranges though, that shot to Niffy's head dwindles on the numbers. LBY and Zerapop, they make quick work of the rest. At the very least, they're running away with a lot of these rounds, just making sure the lead goes a bit more further. We started the half here with Talon having the lead, and Sharper, that's 4 rounds in a row they've managed to pocket. Yeah,
could be even more unless Talent Academy cooks something up in the next round. I mean, that's going to be a potential full buy for them. I'm not entirely sure because Snappy had the Guardian in this round, but it should be okay. Nonetheless, it's a much needed timeout by Coach Rennie. Because the main thing that they have yet to solve is how do you slow down or deter Kadoom? And even if you do that, then how can you retain control? Retain control across the map, because you don't want to over-rotate too much. And that's kind of just everything that Sharper Esports has been doing good so far, right? Kadoom being able to play like this, Niffy watching towards the back sometimes. I mean, even in that previous round, it was against an anti-eco, but Sharper Esports are still so diligent in how they want to watch for all these angles. Niffy was marking Pillar for the longest time ever in case someone were to peek out. So what we are seeing now is that, okay, they're able to buy up. Lorange has a Rolling Thunder, and that could be something that comes in handy for a potential retake or something like that. So perhaps the round then begins with trying to cover as much as possible, play around the toxic screen that Surf has, and get some information firsthand. And Doom starts to slide in.
how much util just thrown out here as they try and compete for Rumble side here. Sharper Esports are slowly making their way down Rumble side, and Talon, understanding that they're just gonna slowly dwindle their way forward, just gonna rush up forward. Quite surprised when Thunder used here this early to keep the rest of Sharper Esports at bay. And Sharper Esports says, that's great for us. We already have this space. We're okay to give it away. And in fact, we took away your Rolling Thunder in that process.
I agree with you, Tash. Now they are slowly refilling space. Sure, it takes some utility, but it's just one stealth drone versus like a Rolling Thunder. 1 minute off the clock, and Niffy's still watching the back, but great shot from TB Loy.
TB Loy is very much anticipating that someone is going to be watching that, knows that Niffy might be nearby, so clean to clear out their tail at the very least. They may have lost Rubble, but they're not done yet. A Snappy trying to see whether or not Sharper Esports crosses. Might not be fine that they haven't opened the door quite yet. Kadoom here is gonna try and just crouch forward here. Maybe a double swing out forward. At the very least, Kadoom somehow finds Kanedi. And somehow also on top of that finds Snappy. Surf is gonna try and make sure that the site is completely locked down. Him and Loranges makes it so hard to crack through. You think you cracked through Rubble? No, it doesn't matter because the A side completely in their control.
Right, good marksmanship, good burst coming out from the rifle. It's just sharp plays, but at the same time, almost doable from Sharper. The adjustments there from Talon Academy, not too bad. The Rolling Thunder, maybe questionable, but it did buy time for the rest of the team to like refill space and hold that space even further. Down to it at the end, where you then had Canadian and everyone else to hold the crossfire angles and everything onto the site. So next one coming up, now you got Kadoom making a lot of noise early on in the round. Talon Academy starting to scramble.
Yeah, that's the first round on the second half here on the board. You can tell they're just really rallying based on how excited they are. But for Sharper Esports, they still have the Rolling Thunder. They do just yet. Gives them a bit more space here, but they're not able to follow through onto that site here because of the smokes, because of the utility thrown out here. And suddenly all their execution is just a wrench thrown in right now. They're forced to pause it.
Yeah. Both teams a little bit too telling with their Rolling Thunder so far, especially when the Neon's, you know, making that much noise, right? But it does keep 3 players from Talon Academy invested on the C side, while the spike truly gets sent over onto A. Now Snappy's seeing all of this and he's calming to the team. This spike is here. These guys are actually over on A. You need to rotate.
Salvos to clear out the site as well. The rest of Talon is waiting to play this retake situation. Coming in from main as well. The positions for Sharper Esports a little bit more aggressive. One on the backside here. But Loranges, he's been sharp as heck. He wants more here alongside Snappy and Surf. They just completely crunch the members of Sharper Esports here. Goes for the defuse as well. And they're gonna stick it. And doesn't really matter as well. What you do here, Kadoom, you can find one. But you have no control of the site. Not ready for that post-plant retake. Talon, this is a very, very competitive map. 9-9 scoreline.
Yeah, just as soon as Sharper Esports found the lead, they just might lose it as well. They have enough for the next round or two, so not too bad. But it's getting really close to that finishing line, and it's these moments where you start to see some players begin to shine a lot. Lorange being one of them. I mean, every time he's near a site, as soon as he lands that fault line, it just gives them so much in that retake that Sharper Esports can't hold back the post plant. Same strat though this time, mid B to C, and Kadoom's trying to find space for his team.
Toyed with a lot of noise made as well. They have the toxic, the poison orb. Excuse me. They have the smokes as well. Fast lane set up, but the paranoia keeps them at bay. Look at that reaction coming in from Talon Academy.
It's sharp, it's fast, but it also baits out a lot from Talon Academy.
Here, gonna go toe-to-toe against Loranges. Loranges have been sharp the last 2 rounds, but Niffy's not going to allow it to happen this time around. Jump peeks forward here. Surf a high area as well, set with his teammates for the trades, but that's not exactly what Sharper Esports has in mind here. Niffy to catch Snappy in the midst of his rotation, and QQ God is just going to quickly TP to the top of site here. They have no clue where he is. They're going to play this corner to perfection. No, it's not, because Surf was very much prepped, very ready to see whether or not he's going to try and catch them in the mid rotation. They get the plant down though at the very least. But Nifty's angle, very aggressive. Good to find those heads, and he's not done yet. But Canadian shuts them down. Both Nifty, both Kadoom, and LBY retakes the spot as well. Gonna try to push out a little bit forward here, and TB Loy was ready for it in the midst of him putting down the U-tail. But unfortunately for Sierra Pop, this time around, his sprays, his shots are not gonna be able to transfer over. TB Loy, are you wearing a plot armor? Because this is insane.
The spike is diffused. Shadows.
Yeah, it went. I think
One of us.
maybe Coach. Shoot, what was it? Coach Cheney needs to call the timeout soon. His boys are getting way too in over their heads. They had every advantage in that round, but they began to, I don't know, look for these kills. There we go. All right. Calm them down, because whatever's going on, they had every advantage in that round, but they were a little bit too hot-handed with wanting to cut these rotations off. I mean, initially you see the Omen TP, and that was actually fine, but the TLNA Academy players knew where he was because they heard him. So the angles, unfortunately, did not quite favor him, but he did buy some time away from that retake. That said, then it comes down to that stairs hold. Sharper Esports began to peek into their opponents. So that's kind of where everything began to fall apart. But that said, you still have a lot of these good site hits, site takes. They're just not quite able to play the post plant the way that they needed to.
Yeah. Quite surprised at the outcome here. It's like 4 rounds in a row for Talon, for Sharper Esports, 3 rounds in a row for Talon as well. Just
And
so
there's an
back and
op
forth.
dash.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Snappy. Ooh, I like this. So much control onto A Rubble this time around for Snappy as well. He can even get his gate crash out onto the back of A site here, but it's gonna be a quick one this time around. Immediately gonna find TB Loy in the front of site there. Just push him away from his hold here. But Snappy this time an aggressive angle played, and he's able to get away with murder.
Now you know there's an op. The Omen flash not sent out yet from TB Loy either, so it might just be full contact.
Yes, it does. He still managed to get one despite all of that. But Kadoom and LBY go aggressively forward, catching Surf as well. Canadian suspecting this one close. Very aware that Kadoom is the type of player that likes to go aggressive here. Sierra Bop is not done yet, but the timing, and he chose wrong right now. Fortunately for him, finds the wrong Yoru here, and Talon will take another round.
Do they have another timeout? I feel like they don't have another timeout.
No, Talon is the only team with one more timeout.
Right?
Talon
So this
Academy.
is where I honestly think it might be early. Sharper Esports are cooked. They had the spike down! Play around the spike, but they wanted to keep going for these fights. They were trying to hold and trying to get ahead of their opponents. Kadoom, that one made sense because you had that much space to work with. And he just unfortunately lost a heads-up duel. But the ones around the door, like 1v3 or even 2v3, unfortunately for, was it LBY? Pick the wrong, no, not LBY, someone. Pick the wrong Yoru to shoot. But then for that last player to take that fight head on, unfortunately it did not help out either. You could see the intentions there, but weren't quite able to hold it down at the end. So now, still got this up in play. Got information now on the side of TLNA Academy. They know that there are a lot of players around 8.
I should just really move him off his position as well with the gate crash because of the util dump early as well. So at the very least, there's that. But you still have no clue where exactly Snappy is holding.
Right? And Snappy's been quite a key factor for TLNA Academy. That clone from before. Additional information now being bought out. As well as TB Loy, who has been good at throwing wrenches into his opponent's plans with his paranoia. Oh, so much information from Snappy now. TB Loy is ready.
He really is. Just about to push there. They put up the camera as well. We'll take it away at the very least. So, presence noted. Gonna go for the Rolling Thunder. Both teams letting it rip. And suddenly both teams not able to follow up as well. The salvos, the snake bite as well. And somehow LBY managed to find TP Loy early. But the overdrive is very much online here. Low ranges to fall down. And even Surf This
30
is
seconds
speed
left.
that I love to see coming in from Sharper Esports. Usually it's going to be a player like TV Lloyd or
player
even Util
standing.
that catches them off guard. But this time around,
Spike
a little bit
planted.
more, less aggressive and more about those holes, leaving Snappy alone. He can't do much in terms of retakes when it comes to his op. The call is just to bring it forward to the next round.
Kind of have to as well. The team's economy beginning to run a little bit dry. They won't have the entire full buy for the next round, I believe. For Sharper Esport, I mean, holy cow. That was all Kadoom. Sure, you had the utility and LBY to be able to shake off or shrug off the stun and the Rolling Thunder that was hit against his team, but Kadoom just went in with that overdrive, and if not for him, the site might not have been theirs. So well played with how he's still this sharp. The made in Thailand veteran providing a lot of value to his team now. Oh god. Okay, okay.
I was about to get a heart attack. Oh my god. Sorry, Quack. Go ahead.
It's all good. No, that's exactly it. All right, there you see it. So, Op being carried over, some Guardians, some Light Shields. Full kit of utility still bought up though, so still a good chance at pushing themselves to map point. Talon, they could make a crazy play happen.
It's also the first point in a while that Sharper Esports have been able to take back here, but Snappy with a great opening onto Niffy there, onto the seaside area. They've been really reading that it's going to be, if you see Niffy around here, it might be the more aggressive side, but Kadoom decides today he wanted to just really challenge his smoke. But TB Lloyd was waiting, but TB Lloyd can't hold. Now the Paranoia's out range, Lorange is stuck in the back corner on the backside here. Relay bolt sent toward him as well. At the very least, the rest of the team just quickly make their way out to site. The LBY was just juking every single util thrown out here as well, as Talon tries to take up a little bit more space. Kadoom falls here. It's a little bit of a breathing room for the team as Snappy to find Syrup Pop. QQ got here alone onto 3 side air. They do have their util to play with, but this double swing is a bit much to deal with. 1 for 1 at the very least, and QQ got first in the 1v2. Salvos used already. Door gonna be open just to try and bait away the players, but Talon is not buying that fake. No snake oil sold today.
Yeah, and
point.
that's, I think, actually, I'm so glad that you brought that out, Tash. The snake oil! You need to start selling snake oil now! You know why? Because Sharper Esport, they haven't sold it enough. They've been quite clear with their intentions so far. They went into A, they kept going into A, and because of that, once they tried to start getting that spike planted, they got hit by the stun, they got hit by aftershock, they got hit by snakebite. Everything was being thrown at them. They need to start baiting out more of these utilities, but they can't do just that until Kadoom maybe looks for the opening shots. Oh, look at that movement.
Yeah, and he's going aggressive right now. Took up so much space. Finds an off angle that Snappy has managed to hold here. TB Lloyd wants to challenge his smoke here, but somehow Kennedy and him are going to find one piece each. Niffy here. His angle could be huge. You could find the best kind of situations in terms of a lurk right now. There are pre-fires. The footsteps have been noted as well from Niffy. Canadi's gonna open the door right now. Niffy's timing could be massive as well. I don't think he's spotting him out quite yet. Yes, he does. Eventually, as he pushes through that toxic screen. Surf as well as TB Lloyd, the last 2 members standing here, Kadoom to be dwindled down in terms of numbers 2v2. This retake is still very much possible as well. Crossfire is about. What a shot coming in from Niffy. You have the aftershock as well as, excuse me, the fault line used. And Surf, he tries to go for that tap, but his position's noted. What can you do here in this situation when Niffy survives and suddenly everything falls into place? And we're currently at a 12-11, Quack.
Wait, can LBY buy? He died to the spike. Okay, he can buy. Oh my god, Tash. I am utterly astounded.
Same.
All answers out of the window. The first hit didn't work, and Kadoom's just like, okay, I gotta go faster. And he does. He didn't see any util being thrown at him around rubble, so he just kept going. And that completely stunned Talon Academy. But now you got a 4-stack.
This time around, Rubble is just heavily contested. Blind shots abound here. Keeps the rest of Sharper Esports at bay. Granted, for Sharper Esports here, they do have what? An Outlaw. The rest of the team are with rifles. But Lorange's is the only thing he's running right now is that Stinger. and a Guardian from Snappy as well, but it's never stopped them from going a bit more aggressive, taking these 50 or lesser buy rounds. Kadum taking out so much space, but somehow Snappy, despite that first contact situation, Kadum and QQ God go huge here. The Stingers will come up huge as well here in this situation. Getting one to his name here for Loranges. Entice the flash as well as Tira Pop gonna find one with that outlaw. T-Beloy answers back onto Niffy. Gonna try and clear out the corners with these salvos. Canadian rush that forward, but Tira Pop holding this angle with his life. Trying to go for this plan from T-Beloy. What a spray! Finds two heads to shoot. Gets an upgrade as well. No, not quite yet. Tira Pop still holding on to that outlaw. Knows exactly where he is. 5 bullets in the barrel. His timing could be massive. But Sierra Pop, he's gonna push up forward.
Defenders
and Talon Academy stays alive. Another map 2 with their name here. It's gonna be Lotus. We're gonna go to a map 3. What a game.
We're going the distance, Tash. For a second, it felt as though Sharper Esports took themselves to the promised land, but Talon Academy,
One enemy remaining.
thanks to TB Loy, was able to turn it all around. Just playing spoiler around C site. I mean, he's been good at trying to read the movements of Sharper Esports. Great recovery from the first map, honestly. But down to this final moment, the 1v3, that was individual brilliance coming out again. Or maybe some slight oversight from Sharper Esports with how they were unfortunately lined up for him. But the fact that he nailed that shot, the fact that he took that last one as well, conserving his ammo, not falling, not succumbing to pressure, just, you know, round of applause. Round of applause to Talon Academy.
Honestly, that was very, very well played. I think the first round, the first map they played, I think they felt a bit more of the pressure. I mean, granted, they are a team that just came together. I mean, they just changed 2 players, right, coming into this game. But they managed to come together, especially on this map as well. We did talk about how records will be broken today. We saw a record broken, the 5-0 from Haven, and now a streak broken, at least for Sharper Esports, the 2-0 on this map as well. Now we're gonna go to Fracture after this, and I'm super excited to see how exactly this will be playing out. Because, again, you talked about individual brilliance. I saw a lot of that coming in from Talon Academy. The same could be said about Sharper Esports here. But situations where push comes to shove, when you need that extra person to clutch it out or go huge, TB Loy was definitely that person, I felt.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to take a look at his stats pretty soon. But so far, you can see just how much of an advantage was unfortunately kind of lost by the wayside for Sharper Esports. Like 15 first kills, so many rounds where they were finding great advantages, especially maybe in the first half. Well, it was pretty even, 7-5 in favor of Talon Academy. But that 4-win round streak from Sharper Academy, Sharper Esports, excuse me, in the second half, I honestly think like both sides, you know, it's a bit of back and forth, but Sharper Esports kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of like strong post-plant wins. They had the spike down in so many of these moments, kind of like what we just saw in that last round, or maybe even the round before, right? A lot of crazy moments where Kadum is just so good at finding these early hits. He's such a sharp player, such a strong neon player, but the rest of the team down to the end of it kind of fell by the wayside. And the one who held on to a lot of his utility to prevent Sharper Esports from holding the post plants had to be this guy.
Lorange. Honestly, it was so incredible watching him play. I mean, again, it's big shoes to fill, right? Especially since THYY had left the team. But he's doing exactly just that. Aggressive as ever, gave a lot of support for his teammates, and most importantly, that individual brilliance coming from him, especially in terms of his sharpshooting. But whether or not, let's see whether or not which team comes on top here, because it's an incredibly competitive match. It's going to be Fracture after this, so we'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. This is Valorant Challenger Southeast Asia, powered by Soup. We're going to map 3, guys. Going the whole distance tonight. We are gonna go to Fracture.
Whole distance, and it comes down to Fracture. What a lovely map. It's sad that we're gonna have to say goodbye to it soon, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
I barely got to enjoy it, if I'm being honest.
I know, but it's always fun to watch it just because you got the 4 lanes. It forces the teams to kind of push out, so that's kind of what we have to look out for. I mean,
Yeah.
It's been kind of chaotic so far, and if you are not clean with your plays, if you're not aware enough to, like, you know, layer your attacks or, you know, do your due diligence and like checking on the little corners and everything, especially even if you're lurking, this is a map where it can get so chaotic that like things can definitely kind of go like really back and forth between the two teams. And that's why, honestly, at this point, anybody's game. anybody's game. Initially, we saw Haven. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Tash, but I feel like we were both on the same page. We're kind of like, Sharper Esports got this for sure, hands down. And then we saw Lotus, and now I have no idea.
Yeah, they made it so competitive, right? Even into this map as well. But look at the teams here. We're gonna see a skill matchup between Snappy as well as Kadum here. All three maps, Kadum has been running this Neon, so I think it should be very much, I would say, ingrained in his mind playing this agent. But for Snappy, this is also an agent that he's very, very familiar with, and he's been taking a lot of space. And honestly, I think first map he played Waylay, second map he played. What was he playing? Yoru.
Yeah, Yoru.
And now you have the Neon. Like
No, it was
three
Yoru?
different. Yeah, it was Yoru. It was three different duelists through three
That
maps.
dude is
That is
insane,
incredible.
man.
That's incredible.
He's a chameleon, Snappy. No, but I feel like while that is also that is very impressive, I think the other thing to note would be that you have this double duelist on the side of TLNA Academy, which means that they kind of sacrifice their ability to play a Tejo. So Pop, on the other hand, has been a pretty good Tejo so far across the day. He's been great with the utility, and we'll see if that actually helps Sharper Esports with their defense so far. And that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Sharper Esports, you're playing that sort of double initiator, util heavy composition. Meanwhile, for Talon, you're looking to burst and explode everywhere, and that's exactly what they're doing in A main.
Aggressive as ever here this time around, and Snappy take up so much space already. Tripwires does catch it to him. Both, in fact, Pop cannot really actually do anything about it either. So just gonna walk in, don't care about the trips, and just take that side, I guess.
That is mad. You would
know.
clear it with like shock dart or a paint shell or something. This guy just walks into him.
You know, he doesn't even have a care in the world this time around. And Sharper Esports have to play this retake right now. Kadum with the great opening here. But the same could be said for Talon and retaliate back as well. Nifty, Loranges, both taking fights left, right, and center as well. And still, despite everything, a 2v2. As Nifty has full control of Sands, very aware where Kadum is, knows exactly where Snappy is as well. And somehow at the end of the day, it's going to be Kadum that comes out huge here. Going to be able to overcome that frenzy. Kadum with 3k just on this pistol.
And that's why you have this composition. Although those trips might have been broken really early on, you have Breach, you have Teo, your opponents might get the spike down on site, but you can make them feel uncomfortable on site. Throw everything in. And also for Kadum to be able to land his shots. Like, I think it was Snappy, right? Yeah, Snappy was the last one left alive, and he was down to 18 HP. I thought Kadum, you know, just shoot anywhere and he'll die. But Kadum went for the hit, and that he still landed it. Like 3 kills, now this guy's halfway to his overdrive. Kadum has been a star throughout today.
Go, go, go!
This time around, Snappy decides to take matters into his own hands. A Bucky to really start off the game strong here. But this time around, the rest of Sharper Esports playing different situations here. A little bit more of an aggressive trip onto B for Nifty, playing inside of tower with the judge. And the rest of Talon, yeah, they might think of, okay, let's try and go through dish. Didn't find anything, so something smells off. Let's go toward the other side here.
Yeah, just to, you know, cause some doubt, instill some doubt in Sharper Esports' mind. Now you hear the noise. See if Nifty can play around it. He's got the judge.
Great opening as well, but Snappy with a weapon of his own. That slide is lethal, but he is just so low right now. Only 5 HP left. His praise can from QQ1 is only good for 1, but what the heck is that, Kadum? Just moving all around that site every time someone tries to cross through. He was very, very ready for that as well. Sets his sights onto main, where Surf, the final player standing, no access to the spike at all at this point.
I'm not sure because Surf could do maybe sneak up from behind, but Kadum guy was going turret mode. I think he flicked like 2, maybe 3 times just to take all those players down.
Would you call it turret mode?
Yeah,
10
he
seconds
became
left.
a human turret. You heard of human drone, now you see a human turret. Surf, okay. He knew he had to die at some point, so I don't know.
Good enough. Now, Sharper Esports walks away with their Vandal intact alongside 2 Bulldogs, so next round could still be very competitive here, but that great opening from Snappy is what I like the most, honestly. Kind of anticipating that it's going to be Nifty holding down somewhere inside of that tower.
Just goes here.
Yeah. So that's one thing that Sharper Esports will now be aware of, the potential for Snappy to like just really throw his body into spots like that.
Kadum is
And
6-0.
this is going to be that first buy around. Yeah, well, we do have a Bucky in the hands of Surpop, so that's kind of curious.
Definitely is. It's positioned all the way up onto main here. Very aggressive angle here, but that's not where everyone's going here. Nippy immediately gets popped off his head. LBY does answer back with that bulldog of his own here. The same could be said about Surf. No entry onto B side, they said. And Talon making a beeline onto A, where you do have one player waiting for them. The guy with the Bucky. But they're not going there. They're going to go coming in from Sands itself. Ooh, that's a good shot there from Sirapop, finding Loranges fairly quickly as well onto main. And he can't even use the salvos to deny that plant. He can just be a little bit more patient, play off sound cues even. Canadian aware that Kadum might be close alongside that, but the relay bolt keeps it at bay. But it's almost like a tag team situation as well. The relay bolt comes through, and the rest of the team corralled into the crosshairs of QQ God. That's the bonus converted by Sharper Esports, and Talon still scratching their heads.
Right, you began with not a full buy, but you scrounge everything up together thanks to some smart placements of utility, the initial smoke, and not to mention LBY with the fault line set up to block players off by tree. I mean, that's just sharp and good plays coming out from Sharper Esports as expected. I think one thing to note would be Surf. He has to watch out. I mean, he's playing Sentinel role. He has to lurk, and he has to lurk effectively.
Ooh, just throwing away crosshairs, but LBY goes massive there with A3 walking up, avenging his teammates, and just leaves the area here. Now, granted, for Loranges, he does get an upgrade at the very least here. It's a 2-on-3. It's still very much competitive.
Smoke's down.
God, it's just gonna refresh that smoke. Should alert the other members of Sharper Esports his position at the very least for Surf. He's keeping very quiet. They're side by side. The only thing that's separating them right now is this big generator. Oh no, it's not. He's underneath. Excuse me. Don't think they've noted the footsteps either.
The reason why I attach, he wants to stay underneath because he needs to make sure that it's not just Surf alone. He's listening for the spike plant, possibly. Which is actually a really smart thing to do. Niffy, very patient. Now he knows. Now he can call his team fully over. And they have numbers advantage as well.
30 seconds left.
The smokes here, Surf could go massive. Just a random
One
swing
player
to catch them off guard. But
planted.
Kadum, very aware that Surf might be doing just that here. Only just alone. But when you're surrounded by 3 different angles, there's not a lot of space to work with at the very least. So another point in the bag for Sharper Esports.
Right? Not to mention that it was a third angle that I think Lorange was not expecting. You know, he heard the initial shots coming from like Canteen and Generator, so that's the ones that he was thinking of. But he had no idea that Nippy was hiding behind the whole time. So that's element of surprise. This, by the way, is just great from LBY. This guy's the IGL and he's still able to frag like that. He's on he's like one of those chairs that can spin around. The chair that I'm sitting on right now in my Airbnb doesn't spin around, Tash. I can't do that.
Another turret? Another human turret?
Yeah. Or no, Tash.
Aggressive as ever this time, and Snappy this time, his speed will be stopped at the very least. You have the aftershock use, you have smokes as well. And the rest of Sharper Esports, they go a bit more aggressive. They're going to deny this A main area at all, alongside Sans. So it's going to be the hardest situation for Talon to push into.
Yeah, trying to vie for presence or control over A main. The drone will keep them at bay and check just to be sure as well. Oh, Surf on a bit of a lurk as well, though. So we'll see if his timing can help his team.
Cage triggered.
Cage immediately popped as well. Double, in fact. And Nippy playing straight inside there. Trying to make sure anyone is underneath, finds nothing. And Snappy, the corner, is played to perfection. Snappy for 2 already, noting the presence of where the Sharper Esports players are. But Kadoom, his timing just unlucky. He had his util in hand. He will be punished for it. QQ God goes huge there. 2 to his name. At least makes it competitive. Still, another 2 more players to worry about. He's gonna go for the orbital strike here. Snappy gonna hide in the corner, and he finds him out fairly quickly. 3 already. Flashed out and anti wall bangs him to death. Forced to reload, moves back. The aftershock should keep him at bay for the time being here, but TB Lloyd, he's so low with only 33 HP left, and QQ God, he is the savior of this round, and the reason the win streak for Sharper Esports is not broken quite yet.
1-on-2 clutch, Tash. This guy just took down 4 players all by himself. His team was falling all around him. Because he got into range on the site, he was able to refill all that space effectively. I mean, this is a good hit coming up from Talent Academy, which I really like because it shows that they have different looks. It's not just Snappy to dive straight in. They are able to work in together. But yeah, the dude came back in, pushed out from, you know, defender spawn, and you went doo doo doo.
It's my favorite meme, I'm sorry. I feel so seen right now. He's one of us. But yeah, I completely agree with you. 2 of those shots, I believe, were through that cage, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure whether it was blind shots or not, but that's incredible.
I concur. I mean, we'll get a look at it pretty soon after this little timeout. Maybe it was the Neuro theft or something. I'm not entirely sure either. But nonetheless, what a moment. But yeah, after a 5-0 like this, sorely needed timeout as well by Coach Rennie. I mean, the Talon boys, they have been trying different things. That was one of these rounds where like you just don't expect it. But now they have some ultimates that they can really hurt Sharper Esports with. And we'll see. You know, double duelists, it's been working out for them so far. But I think they're starting to see that Sharper Esports is a team that it's not to be trifled with. You got Rolling Thunder and Overdrive on the other side as well, so you gotta watch out for potential retakes.
Gotta go.
Very aggressive this time as well, denying space from B main entirely here. Surf keeping an eye out, so we can see those pings coming in toward the A side area here. Noise noted. Trying to set up them for themselves. They were just ready to throw out that fault line at the very least. Sharpop has found nothing quite yet.
Huh. Well, Niffy will find some info of this cam broken.
Yep. There comes the showstopper as well. His teammate does get tagged by the trip, but the rest of Sharper Esports kept at bay. Okay, they take time and just really play these retakes on Niffy. Was just waiting the smokes and somehow gets caught out there by that blind showstopper.
Watch out. Gotta go.
It really won't send out as well. It really was. Low ranges as well is gonna quickly find LBY, and unfortunately for QQ God, he will be the next victim falling forward here. Kadoom can't do much here. A lot of util thrown out. Zero Pop Pat 1 with the element of surprise. Knows exactly where Surf is, but he's gonna just straightforward find one. There's still another 2 more players to worry about. In a 1v3, granted, low ranges is kind of low right now, but that stun is just setting up Snappy for success. And the timeout gives dividends to Talon Academy.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, beginning to come away with some rounds now. Not too bad. They played it smart, recognizing that off of the timeout, maybe Sharper Esports would begin to push out or go for a crunch play. And that's why they were kind of hanging back for the first few seconds. Off of that, not only did they hear noise around tree, then they decided, okay, we can push in towards dish. And from there, not only did they have the site, it was Kanedi who landed the craziest showstopper that went all the way through the rafters. So great round, but once again, Sharper Esports pushing out.
They're still doing that same thing, just denying aggression onto B. Deeper smokes, already noting that trip as well, so he cannot push beyond that area because he have no idea what's on the other side. But for the rest of Talon Academy, all eyes set onto A main. There is a trip there at the very least. LBY alongside Niffy have a nice crossfire if anyone were to push toward dish.
Ults online for Sharper Esports so far. Got Armageddon, Rolling Thunder. Oh! What's that? Pixel.
Still Niffy on the side. anti-flash as well, so he's forced to move off that side. But Snappy, you have his ultimates online. You also have the Armageddon that somehow manages to find low ranges at the very least, but he's not done. The overdrive is very much online. He can still go aggressive. Snappy here, this corner will be his downfall as Pop just quickly pops his head here. Canady gonna try and refill that space here, but his position exposed. And so are the rest of Sharper Esports members here. The cage is the only thing separating these two teams, and they want to try and punish. Nice off angle from Kyukugot. It's only good for one. Surf trades, in fact, gets two, but the rest of Sharper Esports already on site. They're gonna try and get it to half, and they do just yet. Rolling Thunder use here. Pop gonna just get one. He holds his angle to perfection, but TB Lloyd, he's sharp as ever as well. Pre-fires abound, but that stick coming in from Kadoom will go far. SB is Sharper Esports, excuse me, will take another round in the bag. No chaining rounds for Talon Academy right now.
Yeah, successful once again on the retake. Like I mentioned, like it's just all the ultimates that they were holding on to, and they dumped most of it into the round. The cage as well, buying time away, holding all the Talon Academy players into defender spawn, which then allowed Pop to play the position that he distracted them with and allow for Kadoom to stick the spike. So next one coming up, they're still sitting on that Rolling Thunder LBY. Could certainly spoil Talon Academy's plans right now.
Judge in hand here to see if anyone were to push, finds nothing, but they do retaliate their own utility. But LBY was ready. TB Lloyd at the very least does trade, and so does Canady here. Both teams suffering 2-player deficits for the time being.
It's not bad. Ooh, no, they're just gonna regroup and launch back into A-Tash. Whoa.
In the smokes, as soon as it dissipates, it could just spell death. They also have that cage to provide a bit of cover here. But that off angle, the very top of the head here, finds Surf at the very least. So good to dwindle down the numbers. Still, Canady, final man left standing here, forced to go against 3. You have all these utils, the salvos, the stuns. What are you gonna do here when you flashed out this way? Nothing! Because you're gonna get completely wall-banged to Smithereens. Another score on the board here for Sharper Esports.
And that's exactly what this util comp does. SP, man, they have everything going for them. You got the Tejo, you got the Breach. Sure, the contact hit early on was successful from Talon. They got the spike down, but yeah, as long as Surfhawk's still alive, there's so much that they can still do. So the element of surprise, although it is somewhat effective for Talon Academy, they need a little bit more than that. And that's what we saw in some of these previous rounds, right? Where they were able to, you know, deny LBY from coming up, or to take down Kadoom really quickly, or just to be able to sell snake oil, kind of, honestly, Tash. So needing to see a little bit more of that, perhaps. They're going for a split push into A.
They could, but they haven't been able to push onto B-main at all here. But Nifty decides to push, finds Surf quickly, and just quickly gets moved away because of the util. Snappy is going to take advantage of the situation here. Pop as well will be noted, but the Rolling Thunder will deny a bit more space from Kennedy. And Kyukugot finds one to his name here. Canadian can't push forward, no idea where the other members of Sharper Esports have gone. Gonna clear the close corner there, finds nothing. Great repositioning from LBY here at the very least here. They do have a bit more advantage in terms of space. Snappy, good to find Kadoom, but TB Lloyd's position is not fully flushed out by the utility here. Kyukugot gonna push through that open door here, but Canady was a bait all along. Kyukugot should fall. They've been marking his situation here. LBY alone at the very least. Here's the footsteps coming in from Snappy, but this two-way hold as well. 3, in fact, from main makes it so hard for you to even start this fight. So, for Talon Academy, they shoot back 5 more rounds to worry about, but they are still very much in the game.
This is insane, Tash. You have to love Southeast Asian Valorant. Every time I think, like, sell snake oil, you know, like, do something smart, do something like the Korean teams would do. These guys are like, no,
nah,
I'm going even faster. And
that's not fast enough. Faster.
They dive into the A side, Tash. It's so fast this time, and it just works so well. No more ults to, you know, retake with for SP as well. So kind of working a treat for Talon Academy. Now they're just holding all of a sudden, changing up the pace. Oh, Sharper Esports, they're beginning to get a little bit antsy. They don't have the guns either for this round.
Coming out with some noise there onto the door as well, but look at how Snappy is just so far deep into dish side area. I believe the only trips there are that's been set out by Sniffy is on the A side itself here. But Canady is all his positions already noted as well, suppressed at the very least here. Sierra Pop there, fortunately for him, not able to hit the head out of Surf this early as well. And the rest of Talon gonna rally straight called here, but Kadoom is very much ready and waiting for him, but Canady is just faster on the uptake as well. Niffy, timing not quite there. He's gonna try and tail them from behind.
Yeah, so possibly some guns. Maybe QQ can pick someone off by Rafters. But ultimately has to wait for the rest of his team to get onto site. Get it within range of drop.
They have some util to play with. They have Orbital Strike. They have the Molly as well if they want to. Sharper Esports making so much noise there onto drop as well. And they can't really push through. You have the smoke, you have the aftershock as well. So much time has already been bought here. And this situation where you have so much time to really even prepare for the crossfires. Sharper Esports in this situation maybe can go for a pick-off, and that's exactly what LBY has managed to do here. But as time ticks by here, the rest of Sharper Esports are gonna just call it. Maybe try to get a few kills to their name. Go down to the spike would be the smarter call here at the very least. But no, I think they're just gonna save. They have rifles in hand. They have a Guardian as well.
Yeah, as soon as that smoke was placed, kind of trying to hold on to the guns and get more alt points as much as possible. But nonetheless, again, another round where a quick hit from Talon Academy works out in spades. Like, they're also beginning to change up the pace, right? You know, trying to be silent as they move across. With that, Sharper Esports a little bit shaken. They decide to change up their setup. So this time you got Niffy with the Cypher trips around B, as well as QQ out nearby, just in case.
Very edge of the smoke here with his teammates. Kadoom gonna try and remain relatively hidden for the time being as well. But it's Sierra Pop that's gonna try and break it, so no clue where exactly these shots are coming from either, but it does give enough information that there is someone hanging around on this area. Snappy gonna find that trip here. They already hear the sound coming in from the cage as well. Nippy holding, but unfortunately for him, the crosshair not able to land the head. It's gonna be Snappy with that first contact. They have full control of the site already here. And Surf, his timing is just so good. Catching QQ got in the mid of the rotation, trying to take away space there out to heaven. They do have the neural depth online at the very least. Positions for Sharper Esports compromised. Not able to hold, not able to shoot. LBY to fall. Kadoom trying his best to find a little bit of space to play with his teammate as well. He's surrounded so very low. But for Talon, it's all about being overwhelming. And it's just a flawless coming from Talon. Took a while for them to get here, but they look really good right now on this map.
This is a nice spot.
Couldn't agree more. You ever... I really need to, you know, listen or understand their comps to figure out how they're doing this. But I get the feeling that TB Law is one of these guys that's kind of like... I get it now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, after a round about, like, round 8 or 9 or something, something just clicked, and now he's figured out that he can toy with his opponents. First it was pace, and then in this round, just finding that confidence to be able to break through. And oh my god, I'm having short-term memory loss, but yeah, they're also having a lot of these moments where Snappy is able to take down Heaven really quickly, you know, preventing Niffy from still hiding on site. QQ can't really do anything either because he was just quickly dealt with. And then from that point onwards, it's just the 3v5, and it's tough for Sharper Esports to fight back. So, well called timeout from Coach Cheney, and he's got quite a bit of work to do because Talon Academy are beginning to shine. They're beginning to wake up. They're beginning to build up ultimates, in fact. Snappy pulling out an Ob Now too? Okay. Why not? He's got money. Look, he's heading it over onto, like, Canadian even.
Yeah. It's explosive looking at Talon Academy right now. And I mean, it is understandably so that double duel is working out in their favor this time around. And all they've been doing is just waiting for these initial hits, and Sierra Pop just now still managed to get some reaction at the very least with his stealth drone onto dish side area. So instead of going too aggressive, he's going to play onto the side closer to his teammates.
Yeah, work around the composition, go for some potential retakes. Don't need to get too lost in the sauce. but you also got to watch out because you never quite know what Canadian and Snappy are going to do. I mean, Snappy in the previous round showed that he
Interesting.
was quite cognizant of potential trips and how his opponents might position themselves. All of a sudden, though, yeah, kind of trailing back now a little bit.
Bit more slower from both these teams just now. Surf actually placed his camera onto the area of A main. So as soon as they pushed, he immediately just zip lines away here. Gonna swap the guns over as well as Talon finally figured out where exactly they really want to commit to. Surf going all the way on the underside here just to see if anyone were to try to flank. Regardless, Canadian just gonna be completely just bursting on the site there. Blocks off any entrances with the utility, with the molly. And somehow Syrapop will be the first one to fall. They've planted it all the way in open side area. They can play from long if they want to as well. You have two players holding out onto tower at the very least. Kadum will be the first one getting onto the site itself. It's smoked off already here, but Snappy cannot hold, and so does Canadian here. They're gonna go for the defuse. Kadum gonna try to see if anyone is holding out. They managed to get the orbital strike. They have it at the very least, so LBY should fall. Niffy as well. The flash is good. They try and hold on here. It's going to be two players swinging off each other. 7 bullets only in the barrel. Kadum, he tries to go for it. He's stunned. He moves out the way. Movement is great, but time is definitely not on his side. Where to look, where to go when you're crunched like this. Talon Academy still gonna make it quite competitive. A 5-7 half.
And right now, we begin where we left off. I'm still not entirely sure, you know, because both teams look quite evenly matched. Just back then, it was Talon with the great plays and reads of throwing Sharper Esports off their scent, but now Sharper onto the attack. They're allowing Kadubik to slide in.
Salvos as well to just really disallow the team from being able to pick out. And Sharper Esports fully takes control of the entirety of the A side here. But look at how proactive this team is in taking up that space here. You have Niffy all the way down into a dish side area. But unfortunately for him, it's 3 members of Talon Academy that'll be just going to be staring straight at him here. The flash is good. It does throw a wrench for a little while to Talon Academy from being able to push through. But at the very least, you have the relay ball, you have the stun, you have the pain shells as well to keep them at bay. It is planted for them at the very least, but they can see nothing, no info. Snappy is just going to stick this even. He's not going to let go at the very least. And Sharper Esports have no clue what happened and how exactly they lose this round. They get the kills, but definitely not the round.
Defuse completely stuck. Oh my. But the fact that it's been smoked off, and also for them to kind of get trapped in around A main, so not quite able to send out the utility that they wanted. And I think one of the bigger things that we're starting to notice is now Syrapop needing to stay alive. He can't put himself in danger of, in risk of losing his life because his utility is so crucial to the team's plans.
Still, speed is the name of the game here. Kadum still even going through the smokes as well. That's a nice enough dink onto Lorraine, but not enough to take him down here. Sharper Esports stopped in their tracks, smoked off as well. Forced to find another way out the side. It's gonna be door this time around. The smokes dissipate here. TB Loy's position compromised, but it's enough information for him to play off here. Smokes are huge. Snappy gets caught out as well, but it doesn't matter because Niffy, Lorraine just even finds 2, 3 big kills with alongside TB Loy here. It's just about the final man left standing here. Kikugat can only get Snappy. In this situation with only a ghost, it's not gonna be easy. And even then, whoa, timing. Both these teams passing by each other. But in this situation, with no access to the spike, I don't know, man.
Yeah, not much. We're gonna allow you to catch your breath for a second there, Tash. But yeah, Sharper Esports tried to, you know, go speed into the site to possibly surprise Talon Academy with their like frenzies and whatnot. But yeah, it's one of these rounds where I don't know. It's kind of a gimme. Like, Talon Academy have everything, and they were sharp with how they're able to control everything as well. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, both teams need to begin to recognize as well. Apart from the fact that you have Sharper Esports who can deny a lot of, like, retakes or even to play a cerebral game because they have the double initiator, Talon Academy can also actually play strong retakes or you know, strong pushes on their defensive side because they have the double duelist. So once again, Sharper Esports, they gotta be careful, especially Sirapop. Can't die too early on. This time it's gonna be Kadoom that dies early on.
Yeah, could tell how long Snappy was holding on to the angle as well. The same thing we said about the Kadoom there, but just timing was just definitely his enemy in that situation.
Because like a player like Kadoom he's at his best when he's, you know, sliding all around and playing like hyper aggressive and like playing like back there. He was holding an angle. Unfortunately, not the best scenario. This might just be a bonus round that gets tossed out by Talent Academy. SP now trying to get within range. They're all around arcade. A look at Surf. He's avoiding the utility so far.
Corners to a T as well. As soon as Snappy comes through, he's just gonna get completely obliterated. His presence noted as well. The flash does give Sirapop a chance to play as well. Shoots his head, gets an upgrade to a Vandal. And the rest of Talent Academy, they're happy to play with utility. Keeps the rest of Sharper Esports at bay. The mollies, the stuns. What can you do here? 20 seconds, 7 seconds to go here. The rest of Talent Academy are happy to play off these angles. QQ got somehow gonna find TB Lloyd at the very least. LBY as well. And LBY, Snappy is marking him at the very least. Good to find one to the head. Dwindle down to only 5 HP left. 10 seconds to go here. Salvo's gonna clear these corners. LBY to find one, and Sirapop right in the nick of time. They win the round. Oh my god, that was way too close for comfort.
Yeah, evidently you can just get some kills and just win the round that way. It's another one of these situations where it comes down to the micro things. Talent, you know, playing the macro game pretty well. They had a lot of macro control. They knew exactly where their opponents were. But trying to hold down the site, trying to keep their opponents around, like, let's say, tower, right? They kind of left themselves somewhat exposed, or they were watching the angles towards some arcade again. And that's when players like QQ God just find a tiny little sliver and they're able to shoot right back. That said, though, it is still a rare round in which Sharper Esports were able to kind of, well, with sharp shooting, outgun their opponents. But that doesn't happen all the time. So no. Coach Rennie, well, Coach Cheney, actually, you need to call this time out to try to right the ship, as it were. Because Kadoom has been getting taken down early on. If Sirapop gets taken down early on as well, you know, it kind of spells doom for the team. So needing to kind of play a little bit safer.
Sharper Esports buy as well. I mean, Guardian. Oh no, they decided to go with a Guardian and full shields instead of that Bulldog here. So this is kind of exciting if you think about it, because this is the first round in many that Sharper Esports has managed to bring on the board. In fact, it's 6 in a row already for Talon since the previous half.
That's right. So having more rounds would mean so much for them, considering the fact that they are the ones with a lead. Fumbles definitely feel worse than huge loss streaks. So bit of mental recovery and also some silent movements as they move up in towards drop.
A reaction to hearing Kadoom as well as that flash has immediately put down that smoke. And honestly, in these situations, Sharper Esports is not able to play as explosively because of this well-timed reactions when it comes to this util. So they're going to be playing this zipline game here. I don't know why I keep thinking of that boom optic moment. Sorry, it's trauma.
Locating target.
I think also zipline's hurt by low range. Now noting that it is going to be an A main push. Kadoom, though, looking for his opportunity to explode.
Immediately Canadian is going to come on the side out and challenge, but Kadoom sharp as ever with that Guardian. Orbital strike to keep the rest of the team at bay here at the very least. They have the site, they have the hold. The fast lane will be used to give them a bit more space. Cage as well this time around here. They have the molly just to really cut off any entries from that A site. The Rolling Thunder will be used for this retake. Sirapop, a nice little off-angle plate at the very least. And everything is just halted just for a little while.
Shocking.
fast lane just to hide out any info from the main side of the area. Will be walking in straight into the trip as well as TB Loy with that Outlaw should answer back to Kadun. LBY from this corner, the stuns thrown out at the very least, and his teammates playing a nice crossfire with him. Not the easiest retake here for Surf. He tries to win out these jewels at the very least. Lorange is gonna at least find one, but the timing, the tabs are good here. Time not on his side here. QQ got just toying with his prey, and Lorange understanding where he is in this predicament. That's another round in the board for Sharper Esports. Well played for this team.
Yeah, off of Coach Cheney's timeout once again. It's a pretty unique, multifaceted approach, right? Initially, you have players just to kind of escort Kadum to drop so that he gets there safely, and then they go for that split push up around A main. Not too bad. I think the one thing that's kind of peculiar is also Sirpop and Niffy. Their positions should be somewhat swapped, like Sirpop to play around A main instead so that he can play around these salvos, whereas Niffy has cages on the site. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and Sirpop died early on, so it came down to the gunfights at the end as well. That said, it does still work out for Sharper Esports, and they have broken their opponent's economy, which means they could be the first team to reach double digits.
The gun over this time, but the spy cam does put a wrench in every single one of the explosive style plays here. But the utility is good here. He's always gonna eat all of that damage coming in for LBY. That aftershock is just nasty to deal with. As soon as the cage goes down, he has no idea that someone is holding on the corner of sight. The rest of Talon Academy kept at bay for the time being, and Niffy just waiting for someone to push out of tower. No one's pushing quite yet. And Surf, he smells a rat here, but the timing from Niffy will catch him off guard at the very least. And then that's the neural theft activated. Every single member of Talon Academy's positions noted. And it does give the information on where exactly will be the site to hit here, and they make a beeline for that B site since Niffy's already there.
Oh yeah. Still trying to hold them off as well.
The shots from Sirpop is great. Finds Lorange, can't hold on at the very least, but at the very least as well, Niffy should be traded out as well. Gonna find a different entry onto the site for this retake. It's not gonna be easy. You have someone inside of tower, someone on the site itself. Crossfires abound, 2 on main even.
Last player standing.
Gonna check out forward here as soon as it hits popped. TB Loy's head will do so as well. Taking a bit of damage there coming in for Kadum, but only 10 HP left. It's just easy cleanup for Sharper Esports here. There we go, Quack, your double digits.
Quick onto it. We'll see if they can hold on to it as well, though. Talon Academy will be able to buy back up, and they have some ultimates in hand. I think we just caught a glimpse of an op as well in the hands of Snappy. So one of those things that Sharper Esports might not anticipate for the upcoming round. I mean, so far, this was a great round in the sense that you had Niffy for that slight lurk, but also, you know, your opponents went an eco. We'll see if they can continue baiting out a lot of these pieces of utility from Talon Academy. Early noise, Canadian feeling pressure, but still holding the angle.
Here just trying to strafe up forward as well. Snappy and op in hand this time around. He does have overdrive online if he wants to use it as so. But for LBY, he goes huge here alongside Niffy. That's 2 members of Talon Academy down and out as well. A lot of util use, a lot of pressure coming into Niffy as well there. He took a lot of that damage from the initial pushes. Regardless, LBY should be the one to fall next. Not too sure where exactly that happened. There's too many things happening on the site. A lot of utility to keep Talon Academy at bay. But TB Loy slowly makes his way onto the site. And here comes to overdrive. Very much online here. Crossfire set up as well. And Sharper Esports, this is a perfect hole to make sure that no one can go into their post-plant situation.
Yeah, quick for the post plants and quick for the hit as well. I think that was one of the other things too. Even stepping on the site in the initial part, you had that cage, you had Canadian. He heard already Kadum's high gear, you know, a little bit of noise, and they started to sweat, I think. Caged up, and Surf was still kind of holding a position up around tower in case someone went up the rope, right? But it's that spam that all of a sudden punished him, and Canadian not quite able to fall back safely enough as well. And at that point, no numbers. So needing to change the defensive setups, Coach Rennie calling the timeout. But you can see that it's definitely a difficult situation to assess, I think, Tash, because Sharper Esports, they got different gears. Sure, it's the ability's called high gear, but sometimes it's Kadum just sprinting into sight. Sometimes it's Kadum getting into range, making some noise, making you think first, and then he slides in and executes. Like, it's things like that that Talon are kind of not fully aware of, and they're not fully able to play around it either because they don't have a lot of info gathering agents. One thing that they can do to gain info is to push out, and right now they're not really doing that, and they won't feel comfortable doing that either because they're down by so many rounds.
They're pushing out this round though, Quack. They have, what, 2 stingers in hand as well, but they're pushing out at the wrong area here because for Sharper Esports, it's going to be Dish is where they want to hit here. Fast lane online. The rest of Talon Academy has no access to the side at all. No idea where to go here. Planted on the top side as well. Cage set up at the very least. It's going to be interesting how Sharper Esports decides to play this because Talon Academy, they're looking to lurk here, coming in from A main.
Play for exits or pick up the orbs or pick up points as much as possible.
Relay bolt from both sides as well. Both keeping each other at bay at the time being. He's stunned, but his teammates are a little bit more close at the very least, but he's completely crunched from so many different angles. Surf is going to, it's going to Snappy to pick up the upgrade at the very least. The rest of the team here, Sharper Esports, left in a very precarious situation. Sirapop at least finds 2 to his name with the salvos. You also have the Armageddon online. Orbital Strike will be used as well. It's so hard for Talon Academy to even get close to the spike at the very least. But that is definitely Sirapop's round. That is the round. Him staying alive, him keeping his utility keeps the team at bay.
True. I agree with that. It's good shooting. The salvos came in at a good time as well. I feel like someone either miscommed or, you know, no-commed because both Armageddon and Orbital Strike, that's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Someone could have held on to the other ultimate for the upcoming round. Nonetheless, though, I mean, they're up 12-7, so
พี่กลัวมันได้ครึ่งไปแล้วแล้
you
ว
know,
มันแบบ
no love lost there.
Wonder what they're
Still
saying.
really good. Yeah, I couldn't quite catch that fast enough either. But, well, I feel Talon has a chance, Tash. TB Loy has Rolling Thunder. Lorrange is close to Orbital as well.
Oh yeah, there's only 1 off right now. You're left online at the very least, but Kadum this time speed is the name of the game, and he brings that forward here. The same could be said about Niffy, but Niffy forgets that he doesn't have a stun. He doesn't even have the high gear either. Orbital Strike will be used to keep the rest of the team at bay here, but the off angle is held by Kadum here, who's going to be able to catch Lorrange's off guard. But at the very least, for Snappy Canadian, look at that, how many kills Talon is able to rack up here as the round goes. It's a little bit faster on the uptake for Talon Academy this time around.
Yeah, Talon, maybe Sharper Esports felt like they had it, and they just kind of ran into the site. A bit of mental conditioning perhaps as well, because that was, you know, 2 rounds in a row where they hit A. And Talon Academy, that low range with the Orbital Strike just bought enough time for Canadian Snappy to come online as well, which is lovely. But I think one thing to note is TB Loy might have died really early on. Because he died really early on, he still has Rolling Thunder for the upcoming round.
More of a quieter start this time around, but not for long though. Kadum will be not only be using the high gear, he's also really much amped up because of a stim beacon. Can't really push more than that because they have no information about where the other members of Talon Academy are. Anti-flashed as well, so the rest of the team will be forced back at the very least. There is a kill trip for the time being as well, so the rest of Sharper Esports a little bit more wary.
Niffy also still lurking. Oh, and they cut noise. Talon Academy starting to sweat. They were rotating off of no sound. Uh-oh. Oh, Niffy's calling it to his team.
Here comes the Rolling Thunder, pushes the rest of the team at bay here. Kadum, despite everything here, he knows that there is someone close at the very least as well. He has the overdrive. So the rest of Talon Academy are just going to stay at bay. They don't want to get shot and just zapped in the face. They get that plant. Rolling Thunder will be used, but the same could be said about Sharper Esports. LBY just going to flash out at the very least to keep the team at bay. Nice little off angles played here. Sirapop, Kadum, 1 each as well. There's still another 3 more people to worry about. Niffy is close by from main, and suddenly everything just falls apart here. Lorrange cannot hold on. A flawless